Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up. Boo-hoo! Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back to J is for Justice. I'm Jay. I'm your host. If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button and subscribe if you like what you see today. We have a lot to get into today, all right? So this is your live chat reminder because I need to do it. But welcome back. So we've got a lot to talk about. We have updates in the Brian Hooker case. We have Anna Kepner. Obviously, we're going to go through those documents and watch a little bit of Nancy Grace talking about that. And then we also have some things about Annie Guthrie that I want to talk about. So if you're not subscribed, yes, we are very, very close. Like, we can almost taste 130,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed and you want to, I appreciate it. Welcome, chatters. Good to see you guys. Thank you so much, Mary Dean, for gifting 5 memberships right off the rip. She came to party, not dance. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't come to fucking.
Hey, White Lotus.
Okay.
Hi, Paul.
Party.
Nice pictures you sent me. Marcy, what's happening? Jamie Johnson is here. The Real Kells and Vogue, Leo, and Hexy are all the mods. So also after today's live, hey, Leo, we're going to be heading over to Everyday with Jay because we have a funny one. I think after today's live stream, this is a lot of heavy stuff. I think that we could all use a laugh or two. So we've got a full afternoon today on Thursday. I hope you guys have your snacks. You guys are all comfy, cozy. What's up, Sin? Hello, hello. The new grandma's here. Hey, Evelyn. Eclectic. Okay, wait, let me grab my headphones. I felt naked for a reason. But thank you guys for coming in today. Again, it's nice to see all of you guys. The first thing we're going to get into is the Anna Kepner case. This is the case where the Anna Kepner, young girl, 18 years old, went on a cruise with her family. And for whatever, God knows why, her family put her in the same room as her creepy stepbrother. Her creepy stepbrother, according to her ex-boyfriend, they fell asleep on FaceTime one time, Anna and her ex-boyfriend. And this stepbrother came in, jumped on top of her, and wouldn't get off. It's mind-blowing that they would ever put them in the same room, okay? So if you're not familiar with this one, it's a doozy. So the kid is 16. The stepbrother is 16. And he's being charged as an adult. Sophia says, 19 months I've been here. I still like you more than coffee, and that says a lot. Wow. That says a lot, at least for me, because I know coffee. No talkie before coffee. Thank you, Sophia, for your support. I appreciate you. Welcome in if you're just joining. Hit that like button. But, yeah, now he's being charged as an adult. But in these charging documents, which I'm going to pull up right now, and we're going to read through these real quick, and then we're going to watch some of Nancy Grace. Oh, she's furious. Nancy Grace is beyond pissed, okay? She's beyond pissed. And I almost have a whole screen of Nancy sound bites because I got 2 more last night. This one.
If it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it is a duck.
And we've got this one.
If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
I love her sayings. We've got 3 cut the mics. Listen.
Okay, you're going to just have to cut his mic. I don't know what else to do with him.
That one?
Cut his mic. Cut it. It's cut his mic.
She's so funny. Okay, so we're going to watch her after this because we have to have a little lightheartedness when we cover this stuff. This is horrible. So in these charging documents, we find out that Anna Kepner was not only murdered by her stepbrother, but she was also sexually assaulted. And it's horrible. It's just horrible. So let's read these. This first one says the United States of America is charging TH, a minor, with count 1, murder in the first degree. It says on or about November 6th, 2025, within the special maritime and territorial jurisdiction of the U.S., upon the high seas and out of the jurisdiction of any particular state or district, with Miami-Dade County in the Southern District of Florida being in the district in which the offender was arrested, the defendant, TH, a minor, did knowingly and unlawfully perpetrate an attempt to perpetrate a murder that is 1, the willful, deliberate, malicious, and premeditated killing of AK, it's Anna Kepner, with malice aforethought, and 2, the unlawful killing of AK during the perpetration or attempt to perpetrate an aggravated sexual abuse in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 11111A and 7. So on or about November 26, 2025, he was arrested, TH. And it says he did knowingly attempt to cause a person that is AK to engage in a sexual act. That is by causing contact between his penis and AK's vulva by vaginally penetrating AK with his penis, and did so by the use of force against AK. And this is signed by the U.S. State's Attorney. So this is going to be a federal case. Good morning, Linz. It's horrible. So he hid her under the bed. He wrapped her up like a mummy and hid her under the bunk bed. There were like 2 bunk beds. You'll see it on Nancy when I show you. But he went down to breakfast and sat there like, I don't know where she is.
At least the lawyers.
We got a cooter chat.
Looking forward to my Thursday night with you all. Trisha roast will be much needed. Yellow heart emoji. Yellow heart emoji.
Thank you, Nick, for your cooter chats. Yes, it will be a good one. It will be much needed after going through this. Thank you so much, Nick, for your support. And you too can send your own cooter chat to the channel. So let's go to the next document. This is the superseding document. These are the most important ones. I want to give a shout out to the Real Kells for getting these together for me. There's a lot that are just sealing documents and different motions that aren't really pertinent to this. But she did get those together. So thank you. Yes, he's 16. But he's being charged as an adult. It's going to be federal court. There will be no cameras if it goes to trial. Now, how many of you think that it may go to trial? Or he may plead out. I think with his age and shit, he may plead out. Mary Dean says, was she alive when she was essayed? They do say they believe she was. They do say they believe she was. Hello, Valerie. I hope you had a great birthday yesterday. Hello, Mr. Cole. All right, so this is the superseding indictment from the grand jury, and this was filed on March the 10th. And the grand jury charges that count 1 murder. It's basically the same thing. On November the 6th, it says the same thing. Down here, though, it says TH, a minor, the case number, and then it says max term of imprisonment, life imprisonment. Count 2, aggravated sexual abuse, max term of imprisonment, life. And then it goes on to say all the fines and everything. And then if we go down here, this is out of Miami, Florida. It says that this case will take 7 days to try. So if this goes to trial, maybe I'll make a trip down to Miami since it's only a 7-day trial and report on it, on what happens. Because this is This is very disturbing. I want to know what the parents were thinking, number one. Because if they knew there was a problem, why on God's green earth would you ever put them in the same room on a cruise? So that would be a 7-day trial, no cameras. The judge is going to be Beth Bloom. Let's see what else this says. This is basically, I think, saying they're going to try him as an adult. I'm not really sure. I'm not an attorney, but I'm doing my best. So this is all saying, oh yes, this happened in the water. They have jurisdiction, blah blah blah. So federal court, dude. I wouldn't do that with my son and stepdaughter. It'd be awkward. You know, they probably said, well, all you're going to do is sleep in there. I read the grandma had a bed made up for Anna in her room. Oh, I didn't read that. That just reminded me, though. I have a video of the grandmother, but I'm not sure. Hang on. And they made all kinds of excuses. Do you remember that? Yeah, right here. The stepbrother had demons. Yeah, this is only a 3-minute video, so that's it for the documents. Let's pull up this 3-minute video, and then we'll get into Nancy. Hold on. I forgot about this.
I just screamed. I couldn't stop screaming.
Hey, guys, we're finally getting some more answers in the Anna Kepner case.
Is it one Jennifer or two Jennifers?
You got 2 Jennifers right now. This is the old me, which is the cruise ship murder case that we've been following here on J is for Justice. Her grandparents were on Good Morning America today, and they talked about her stepbrother and how they found out that Anna was found when they were on the ship, and also the last time that they saw Anna. Take a listen.
We had dinner. Anna wasn't feeling well. She just said, Mima, I think I'm going to go back to my room for a little bit. And she must have felt better because she got dressed up and she came down. We were playing in the casino. She didn't win anything. And she said, Mima, I love you guys. I'll see you later. And we never saw her again after that.
Called for a medical alert team to go to a stateroom. And when they said the number, I recognized the number immediately. The room steward that was going in to clean the room is the one that found her.
She was found concealed under the bed. I was told that she pulled back the mattress and found Anna. The FBI contacted my son and family and told us her cause of death was asphyxiation.
Can you imagine being this housekeeper and this kid that did it is sitting down at the breakfast table, you guys? Thank you so much, Valerie. Thank you, everyone, for the birthday wishes yesterday. The best podcast. J is for Justice. Totally authentic. God bless all. God bless you, Valerie, and I'm glad you had a great birthday. The parents won't be in trouble, I don't think, but they should. They might.
Anna's grandmother said one possibility they're considering whether it was caused by a so-called bar hold, an arm across the neck.
You take the elbow like this. They said when they took her body to the medical examiner's office, it was in perfect condition.
And now they're going to get into the stepbrother and the situation there.
He was in a room with her. He was the only one seen coming and going. So I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room.
But you can't accuse him. He was the only one in there. But he's denying it. He's like, oh, I didn't see her.
But the summation would be that he did something.
Boom. And you can't take this back. This is why lawyers tell people to shut their traps. Like Brian Hooker. He's probably been told to shut his trap. This is why. Because this will be used against. I mean, if grandma testifies, she's already said now, I mean, looks like he did it. You know what I mean? So I think this kid might take a plea deal.
I can't accuse him because I don't know what happened in that room, but the summation would be that he did something.
And has he said anything to you about what happened?
I heard him, in his own words, say he does not remember what happened. He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. He couldn't believe what had happened.
He couldn't speak. He didn't want to speak.
It was just like brother and sister.
What else could you tell me about him?
That he was a good student.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
Oh, boy.
She had purpose.
He had demons in his past. He's 16.
Psychopathy.
We saw how amnesia worked out for Jodi Arias. Oh, my God.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those. She had purpose. She wanted to do things. And this little tiny 110-pound girl, she was mighty, very mighty.
We were looking.
I want to say these are her step grandparents because they were on the cruise. Does anybody know for sure? They haven't tried. Are they trying the mental? Of course they're going to, right? I mean, they're going to have an evaluation. They're going to do all this, that, and the other. It's going to take forever.
Looking forward to seeing her grow.
What do you hope for now in this moment for your family?
I hope that we can heal. Whatever happened in that room, the only person responsible is the person that was in the room with Anna. Whatever the law says, I'm not going to advocate for anything more or anything less. And that will be for the courts to decide.
The official. Oh, this is her bio grandma. I'm confused. It's Anna's dad's parents. Okay. This is old, you guys. I put this out 4 months ago. So they've already spoken. This is November 24th, 2025. Her dad's parents. Okay. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought it was the mom's parents, but thank you. That changes it. Okay. Sounds like they were in the dark, maybe. Hi, Jamie. Official toxicology reports have not been released, so hopefully we'll get more answers then as well. Everybody take care. Okay, so the boy is their step-grandchild. Hello, Debbie Smurthwaite. This was also 4 months ago, before we found out more details, though, Higgins. I was just bringing that up because I forgot about the grandparents. She's a beautiful young girl. Okay, so now we're going to get into Nancy. You guys brace yourselves because Nancy is one pissed off woman. She ain't happy.
Dad, we take you over to Nancy's?
We're going to Nancy's.
Dad, over to Nancy's.
Okay, here we go, guys. I'm going to put it on 1.25 so we can get through this a little faster. But she pissed.
That little girl stuffed under a cruise ship bed, wrapped in a blanket, mummy style, with life vest stuffed over her. She, quote, fought for her life.
She is mad.
Tonight, we learn about an indictment on Anna Kepner's teen stepbrother. He's been protected by his family from the get-go, who seemingly were more interested in protecting him than getting justice for Anna Kepner. Joining me in all-star panel, but straight out to Crime Stories investigative reporter Sydney Silvani. Tell me about the federal charges.
Timothy Hudson, Anna Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother, is now facing charges of...
Okay, I see now they're saying his full name. He's no longer TH. Timothy Hudson is his name.
Sexual assault and first-degree murder. And this is in federal court, Nancy. So this teenager faces a very lengthy sentence. These are very serious charges.
We also know that for the first time, the stepbrother is unmasked. Let's see the face.
Oh, she says, let's see that boy's face. And if I'm not mistaken, This kid is not even in custody right now. He's on an ankle monitor, y'all. I don't know how I feel about that.
Of the accused killer.
Because Ethan Crumbley didn't get no fucking ankle monitor.
Her own stepbrother. So far, he has been shielded from public view. All of the court proceedings were held in secret.
This is him. Yeah, he's living with his uncle selling wood on the side of the road. He's being tried as an adult. He should not be out, in my opinion. Yep, selling firewood. Is she? Yep. And this is a federal case, you guys. So I don't know who made, a federal judge made that decision. Yeah, selling things to people on the side of the road. Yeah, he's very, very tall. Look how tiny she is.
This is the stepbrother. Straight out to Joseph Scott Morgan, professor of forensics, Jacksonville State University, author of Blood Beneath My Feet on
Blood Beneath My Feet, Joseph Scott Morgan. I want to have a beer with you at CrimeCon. Hopefully I can.
Amazon, and star of hit podcast Body Bags with Joseph Scott Morgan. Let's have a little refresher course. As we say in court, let's refresh the recollection of the jury. What happened to this teen girl, and what about these new federal charges have you learned?
Well, let me tell you. Let's start with what happened to Anna.
Yeah, he's not happy either. He's disgusted too.
Her body is actually found wrapped in a blanket, stuffed beneath a bed in a cruise cabin, Nancy. And not only that, her body is also surrounded by life jackets in this kind of juvenile, infantile, if you will, way to try to hide her body. I don't know who in their right mind thought that they could get away with this, but they did it anyway. You know, in this new indictment, what we're learning is that this young lady was subjected to probably one of the most horrific deaths that anybody can imagine. She has been sexually assaulted, and we're talking about an aggravated sexual assault, which means this is a very violent event. And oh, by the by, he's been charged. Her stepbrother has been charged with first-degree homicide, Nancy. What they're saying is the level of brutality here includes she has got a mark on her neck that appears to be associated with what they're referring to as an arm bar, which means the blade of the arm is being pressed down over the anterior neck.
Oh, I wonder if she was in bed or if she was like up and getting ready. I feel like she was surprised from behind by this kid. What a creep. What an effing creep. I mean, wouldn't you like to know that if you're stopping on the side of the road somewhere in Florida, South Florida, you might be buying wood from this creep? And I'm sorry, I don't care how old he is. You essay your freaking stepsister? Ugh.
She couldn't breathe. And here's the thing, Nancy. Not only that, they're saying that she sustained trauma to her area that is associated with an antemortem or prior to death event. This goes to the aggravated nature of this. So she's been greatly traumatized. She was essentially deprived of oxygen and then wrapped up and tossed under this bed, Nancy.
Joining us, a veteran trial lawyer, defense attorney Greg Morse. He is the author of a legal thriller, Untested. He is the founder of Morse Legal in Palm Beach.
Oh, this is the guy she says cut his mic to, and you should see his face. This will be good. She was alive when he raped her. Yes, that's what he said.
What the fuck, Jay?
Greg, according to the federal government, I mean, I don't know what it does to a person when they see the United States of America versus you. But according to the federal government, and remember, I was a Fed for 3 years before I became a felony prosecutor of violent crime. They're saying that this teen girl, Anna Kepner, you know, the little girl that was a cheerleader at the little Titusville Christian school, that girl that was so excited about the cruise with her grandparents. She got some new outfits and had her nails done, got all ready to go on the cruise with grandparents. I don't know what else to do. That little girl, the one that wanted to join the Navy and then go into law enforcement and canine handling, her, they are saying that the last thing she saw about that far away from her face is her own stepbrother breathing into her face as he strangled her dead after What's your defense?
Well, one, given the age, you're going to look to incompetency, insanity at first.
So this dude's a Florida lawyer, and he's basically just saying what they're going to do. They're going to go through the motions, do all this stuff.
Also, I don't know the full import of what the feds have. The feds do a great job at investigating their cases. They, so I'm sure they did a great job in this case. But there's a lot of other people on the boat.
Did you say insanity? I just want to make sure there's nothing wrong with my IFB. Did you say insanity?
You're going to look at, sure, this is a young man who's just started adolescence. So this is a young man who just started adolescence. So you have those issues there. So? Young people I've represented.
It's like she's debating him. This is freaking amazing.
Plenty, and they don't understand the system. They don't understand the nature
none of that is insanity.
What's going on.
He's a teenager, so he's legally insane.
No, not because he's a teenager. You said what defenses? What defenses would you look at? I would absolutely look at competency and insanity, both. Yeah, absolutely. I would take a look to see. I did. I said insanity and competence. They're two different things, but you would look at them both for someone this age and doing this. I don't know if DNA's matched yet to this person, but that's an issue also. There's a lot of people on the boat. So you have to look at those things as a lawyer and turn every stone over.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Greg Morse, isn't it true that the judge is going to instruct the jury if and when this goes to trial? This is after closing argument. So this is the last thing the jury will hear before they begin deliberations. The judge will instruct them on the law they must follow as they apply the law to the facts of the case. Credibility, the facts, and the law is within the sole province of.
But he's realistically bringing up what they'll use. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he was jealous of her because she got, everything came easy for her. Some kind of stupid shit, making it sound like it was a sibling rivalry or something. But the essay part of it, you can't explain on that. What are you talking about, Buster? Who's Nancy?
The jury. And the judge will tell them, the black and white letter of the law is, they can consider facts before, during, and after the incident. Isn't that true?
Sure. That's correct. But you also have the issue here with young people and social media.
A bed. Can we see the cabin? The fact that her body was hidden, stuffed under a bed, nude, wrapped up like a mummy in a blanket, and then concealed by life vests, stuffed under one of those beds. And then, according to reports, the teen stepbrother goes along with the parents. They belly up to the breakfast buffet, up to the trough.
Is what their room was like. So he literally, she was in that room with him. She had to sleep in there, that creep. And then he shoved her underneath the bed. No, he's not the brother's lawyer. He's just a Florida lawyer. He's just saying what they would do. I mean, it's true. It's what defense lawyers do, right?
He's missing, and he acts perfectly normal. So don't you think hiding a body, Greg, would suggest that he knew it was wrong? I mean, Greg, it goes all the way back to Genesis. You are familiar with the Bible, I assume.
I am.
Because
it's a factor,
in Genesis, Adam and Eve know they've done something wrong, and they try to hide. Spoiler,
listen, you can't compartmentalize information. And what we just saw with a category finding social media companies responsible for mental illness in young people, that's something that is maybe come into play here. It may be an issue investigating this young man's history, and he was living in a delusional world if he did this. So there are those factors that you're going to look at first when you have a 16-year-old defendant who.
Well, you know what else might come out? Because it's rumored that these kids were drinking on that cruise. So there might be a whole nother can of worms opened up. If that kid was served and Anna was served, that won't be good on Carnival, that's for sure.
Who is accused of an unspeakable act of violence. And that's the avenue to go down, because with the feds involved, they're going to have evidence locked tight. They're going to dot their I's and cross their T's. They're very good at what they do. So that seems like an avenue when you have a young person to look into. And that's an important ruling that happened in California with social media companies being responsible for a young person's mental health issues because of the algorithms. So all those factors could come into play in a defense here, or resolving the case in a somewhat reasonable way. But what's reasonable when you face life, right? So,
well, I think we can expect that kind of defense to be more and more common with kids, because social media is fucking our kids up. It's fucking them up in a lot of ways. Now, do I think he did this because of social media? No, I don't. But I think that the that issue right there will be something maybe we hear more and more. Welcome back, awesome.
So that's a tough one, but it doesn't mean you don't have a defense.
Please do not mislead the listeners and viewers, because the California case, look around you at the panel. Do any of us look like we just fell off the turnip truck? The case you're referring to in California had nothing to do with an intentional homicide, did it?
No, it didn't, but it had to do with
it has no bearing on this case. It has nothing to do with this case. It's not remotely similar.
But it does on the defendant. Yes, it does. It does on the defendant when we're talking about competence and
they may use those videos. I hate to say it. Maggie Marie has a point. She said it feels odd, them showing this teen dancing around half dressed. But that's what they do, isn't it? Isn't that what they do on TikTok? They wear crop tops and short shorts and all the things, and they dance around. That's why TikTok is evil, dude. Everything that has come from TikTok has not been positive or good for our youth. Let's face facts. It's a bunch of creepy men watching these half-dressed young girls dance around on TikTok. It's a pervert's dream. It's like the only app you'll need if you're a perv and you want to watch a bunch of young girls half-dressed. It's disgusting, but no one wants to say it. No one wants to say it. No one wants to tell the girls, hey, have a little more respect than to dance around half naked. No, it's cool. Let's do the latest dance half naked. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take. And I'm not victim blaming, but there is a problem with that. And there's a lot of girls that have thank you for joining Caltato. Have body, morphosis or whatever. It's just, it's invasive. The kids are too young. It's just, there's littler and littler kids that are going on there and doing this. It's not just 18-year-olds. It's kids. There's like little ones on there. And TikTok has just been the devil to our youth, in my opinion. Body dysmorphia. There you go. It's like they're trying to display her. Right. I don't like them displaying her like that either. Now that you mention it. I didn't really think about that until you just brought it up. Wow, Carnival already got sued for over-serving. Not good. Yeah, there's 8-year-olds on there. It's awful. The eating disorders, they tell you how to do. It's not a good place. Okay, here we go.
Insanity. What's affecting that young person's brain? What world are they living in when they did this? Do they believe what they're doing is in their reality because they've been so brainwashed by the algorithm and going down this rabbit hole of social media? I think before that verdict came back, most people would say there's no way social media is going to be responsible for someone looking on apps and looking at things. But you know what? A jury found they were. That their product is
in a completely different type of case. It had nothing to do with
And you know what else bothers me about TikTok is that most of these kids are doing this shit in their fucking bedrooms. So whoever's watching them can see their surroundings, their bedrooms, their homes. I don't like it. I just think it's too much. It's too intrusive.
Much less. Okay, you're going to just have to cut his mic. I don't know what else to do with him. That was not a murder case. It was not a case. It was a civil case against social media. And again, you are ignoring the fact that he hid the evidence of his crime. That suggests that he knew.
Yeah, I mean, it's a totally different issue, but they will bring it up. She told him, cut his mic because I don't know what to do with him.
But you know what? A jury found they were. That their product is
in a completely different type of case. It had nothing to do with a homicide, much less. Okay, you're going to just have to cut his mic. I don't know what else to do with him. That was not a murder case. It was not a...
Did you see his face? He's like, oh,
okay, you're going to just have to cut his mic. I don't know what else to do with him.
He's like, okay.
It was not a murder case. It was not a case. It was a civil case against social media. And again, you are ignoring the fact that he hid the evidence of his crime. That suggests that he knew what he did was wrong. And also, isn't it true, Sidney Silvani, that he kicked the little brother out of the room and locked the door?
Oh, my
right?
God.
So that indicates he knew he was about to do something horrible. He didn't want the little stepbrother to know what was happening.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
And the little brother...
Hold on. He kicked out his little brother. Hold on a second. What time did this happen? Because where did the little brother go and how old is he? He slept on the bed after. Where'd the little brother go? God, the little brother was probably scared to wake up the parents because this kid was probably mean. So where the hell did the little brother go while this happened? Oh my God. 11 or 12? He went wandering around? I bet you he was scared to wake up the mom and dad. He let the little brother in later and they just went to bed. The little brother heard fighting? Oh my God. Whoa. So they must have him on camera wandering around the ship. Good morning, stay humble. He was off taking pics? I did not know this. How did I miss that? Holy crap. I wonder if the brother threatened him and said, you know, don't tell parents or whatever. Holy crap.
Heard fighting, heard screaming, heard furniture being over.
Oh my gosh, there it is. The little brother. Oh, that poor kid.
Something horrible. He didn't want the little stepbrother to know what was happening.
Right. And the little brother heard fighting, heard screaming, heard furniture being overturned in the room that night. So we know that whatever happened, it was very violent.
Sydney Silvani, explain to me, do I have this right? That the parents, and that would be Anna Kepner's biological
those are her stepbrothers.
Father and her stepmother were right across the hall from her when all of this was happening, and they did not see her from the time she left dinner on the cruise ship with them around 7 p.m. the night before. Now, all the way around 7 a.m., that's 12 hours, 8, 9, 10, 11. All that time, they didn't check on her. And they're on a cruise ship full of thousands of people, including adults with open bars. They didn't check on her.
What was the time frame again?
On the cruise ship with them around 7 p.m. the night before. Now, all the way around 7 a.m., that's 12 hours, 8, 9, 10, 11. All that time, they didn't check on her.
Wow.
And they're on a cruise ship full of thousands.
7 p.m. She said she wasn't feeling good, but then the grandma said that she was feeling better, remember? She came down to dinner and then went back to her room. But they didn't keep track of any of those kids? Oh, I'd love to know when that brother went back.
Thousands of people, including adults with open bars. They didn't check on her?
That's exactly correct. Anna goes home, goes back to her cabin early from dinner, and nobody starts questioning where she is until breakfast the next morning. And she is finally located by a housekeeper at 11 a.m. the next day.
Another thing I don't understand with that timeline, Sydney Silvani, is that they all had breakfast at the big buffet, and the little brother had to be there. Did he not mention this?
Anna's brother heard a heated argument between them in their cabin the night before Anna was found dead. He heard the stepbrother yelling at Anna, the sounds of furniture overturning, and screams from inside their room.
Oh my goodness. I bet you he threatened that little boy. Think about it. Holy crap. I wonder what time he heard this happen, what time he was kicked out. Oh, Penny's here. Penny, thank you. Hang on. Penny graciously sent me a case of Coke Zero and a birdhouse and bird seed for all my little birdies outside, my mockingbirds. Thank you so much. I love it. Love it. Thanks.
You heard him yelling at her, like, in a harmful way of, like, shut the hell up and stuff like that. Like, something was, like, banging around and stuff, and, like, the chairs were getting thrown around in the room.
That's Anna Kepner's little boyfriend.
Oh, my God. So her boyfriend explained the same thing happening at home when they were on the phone, on FaceTime. He heard furniture thrown around. Oh, man.
Speaking to our friends at Inside Edition. So Greg Morse, let me understand, while Anna's little brother is describing hearing a heated argument with furniture being thrown around and the teen stepbrother screaming, "Shut the hell up." You're telling me it's because of social media? And he didn't know what he was doing when he locked the little brother out of the room and started throwing furniture and screaming and cursing at Anna?
Well, what strikes me as even odder is why wasn't that told to anybody right away? Why didn't the parents go in there? But at the end of the day, you're talking about.
My question is, has he ever put that kid in a headlock like that, or whatever you call that, the arm bar or whatever? Has he ever done that to his little brother? I bet you he has. I bet you he has.
A case that is serious, has a lot of violence. There seems to be a lot of organic evidence that may be in the room, whether it be DNA, and a defense for a young person potentially is, young people break from reality. Young people are more prone to having issues and acting in a way that's, they believe it's right, they believe it's real, and it's not. They're insane. So that's what I would look at here right now from what I know. What else are you going to look at?
Okay, Greg Morris, I've just got to say that I respect you deeply because I throw the law at you. I throw facts at you. And you're kind of like Superman, it just bounces off and you just keep flying. It's like you can't hear what I'm saying. But you know what? You win a lot of cases. Now I see why. Joining us, two additional incredible guests. Number one, Spencer Ehrenfeld is joining us, the cruise ship lawyer, and Dr. Cheryl Errett. Dr. Cheryl, clinical forensic psychologist, specializing in trauma cases, and you can find her at askdrcheryl.com. Dr. Cheryl, I need you to hear this. Speaking of, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Listen to this. You heard Greg Moore saying, why wasn't this told to the parents, to the bio dad and the stepmom? I mean, they all had breakfast together, minus Anna. Nobody said, where's Anna? If I were on a cruise ship and my daughter didn't show up, Hellno. Nobody's having pancakes. Nobody's having the fruit. Forget it. We're finding Lucy then.
Right now, yeah.
That said, listen to this.
She just didn't feel safe around him. She's scared to tell anybody because she was scared that he would do something to her.
Joshua, too, says Anna's close relationship with her stepbrother was one-sided. The 16-year-old is obsessed with Anna and made her uncomfortable with romantic advances. He once even caught him trying to climb into Anna's bed while the two were on FaceTime, Anna already asleep.
American homeowners, the FBI has been warning about.
Did you hear that? Anna was already asleep, you guys. She could have been sleeping when he attacked her. Ugh. I wonder if they were drinking and that's why she didn't feel good. We'll find out.
A type of real estate, just
to her like crazy. He's always wanted to date us.
Link below, and good luck.
He says that I tried to tell the parents that this was happening, and they didn't want to believe me. He's like infatuated, attracted to her like crazy. He's always wanted to date her.
Chris doesn't realize it's his fault. This whole thing is his fault.
Oh my God. This is bio mother. Okay, this is Anna's bio mother. Poor Anna. Bio mom is taken to the airways to blame bio father. At this moment, poor Anna.
Like crazy. He's always wanted to date her.
Chris doesn't realize it's his fault. This whole thing is his fault. If he would have taken the warnings that Anna's ex-boyfriend gave him, then she would still be here.
Where were you, Mom? I mean, come on. See, I can't with this pass and blame when you clearly have a substance abuse problem. Moms are supposed to protect. That's our job. Our job is to protect. She just wants to attack her ex. Her name on TikTok is Just Mom 1984.
So keep that in mind, Christopher. I blame you.
That from our friends at Inside Edition and Just Mom 1984 on TikTok. Dr. Cheryl, I mean, I'm so mad I could shoot a nail in half right now. According to the little boyfriend and his father, they warned Anna's family that this stepbrother had tried to Anna at least once before. And you and I know all the stats. A sex offender will not stop. There's no rehab for a sex offender.
Thank you. Say it again for those in the back.
All the stats. A sex offender will not stop. There's no rehab for a sex offender.
There's not. And exactly what you just said, Sparky. This shit only gets worse. People in, like, these parents have their head in the sand. They don't want to deal with it. Oh, we'll just put them in a room together. Oh, the little brother will be there. Nothing will happen.
So how many times did he or try to Anna? And she was afraid. And now she's dead. And so many people are worried about, oh, why are you showing his face? He's a juvenile. She is stiff, like cement.
It's John
dead
Wayne
in a
Bobbitt's
coffin.
Penis.
And they were warned, but yet she was put in a room with the stepbrother. Help me.
This is the tragedy here. And this is the thing. Sibling abuse is incredibly common. But families very often minimize and deny and don't hear it. Just like you're saying, see no evil, hear no evil. This was wishful thinking, I'm imagining, on the part of this family, that they could all have this lovely cruise. But this was a creepy, predatory step sibling. And actually the risk of abuse and violence and even killing does go up when siblings are not blood related to each other and when there is minimization of the abuse. She did not feel safe with him, and they put her in the same cabin, in the same room, and made her stay there with him. She was completely unprotected. And as you know, we've talked about how strangulation is one of the biggest, most violent power and control moves that is highly lethal and highly predictive of repeat offending. And while, yes, this is a 16-year-old whose brain isn't fully formed, he is a tremendous danger. And where were these parents protecting the daughter from her step-siblings?
You know what you just did, Dr. Cheryl? You just threw Greg Morse some chum when you said brain not formed. Now he's going to go off that this defendant's brain wasn't formed. That said, I think it's...
Okay, Higgins, this is a little shocking too. Higgins said also at their actual home, Anna didn't have her own bedroom. Her bed was in the dining den area. No door, no escape. And Timothy climbed in her bed in an open room. He's dangerous. Oh, that reminds me of Madeline Soto's sleeping situation. Remember they had her in the main living room with a freaking room divider thingy with holes in it that you could see through? Poor girl had no privacy. 13, no privacy. Anna, 18, no privacy. I can't imagine that. I can't imagine just feeling thrown into a home. Thank God for my parents, man. Bless my parents for raising me in a traditional household. My God, I can't imagine this shit. This is absolutely horrible. Appalling.
Dr. Cheryl, I don't know if I'm capsulizing this correctly, but families want that Hallmark picture. They don't want problems. They don't want people to know they have problems. They certainly don't want anyone to know that their big hulking stepson is trying to Anna Kepner, their daughter. They're just like, no, that's not happening. That can't happen. We'll talk to him. Well, obviously that didn't work. Hold on, guys. I'm hearing in my ear. I'll circle back to Greg Moore so he can go off on brain not formed. Spencer Ehrenfeld is joining us, veteran trial lawyer, founder of Ehrenfeld Trial Lawyers. He's author of an illustrated book, Sarah Rose, Kid Lawyer, in all of his spare time. But for my purposes, he's known as the Cruise Line Lawyer. Okay, Spencer, I'm sure somewhere along the way, somebody's going to try to sue Carnival Cruise Line. That's your specialty. You go after the cruise ships.
The cruise line may never have known the intricacies of that relationship, but cruise lines like Carnival have an absolute duty to provide reasonable security and safety for their passengers. So if there was any indication in the public spaces that there was something inappropriate happening between these two, or that either one of them had consumed alcohol or an excessive amount of alcohol, or if there were loud noises coming from that cabin, a fight, things being thrown around that would have and should have triggered Carnival security, that something inappropriate is going down in that cabin, then Carnival would have civil exposure in this case for failing to provide reasonable security to poor Anna. So they don't need to know the intricacies.
See, and that's bullshit. I think that the parents should be held accountable before Carnival. What do you guys think? I mean, Carnival couldn't possibly know that this kid jumped on Anna in previous days. They couldn't have possibly known the dynamics. The people who are aware of the dynamics are the ones that could have prevented this. Not Carnival. I don't think the parents should get a dime from Carnival. Dude, if they get rich off this, holy shit. Hey, Johnny Cuddy. They're responsible for that 16-year-old. Dude, if they get a payday for this, oh my goodness.
He's of the incestuous relationship or what the parents know. It's more important what did Carnival know or what should they have known given what was happening outside of that cabin.
Spencer, it's very critical. It would be, if I were prosecuting this case, that all of the video surveillance and all of the, a lot of times when we would go on Disney cruises, we'd all have a wristband, and not just one of the rubber ones, but it was more like a watch. And you'd just tap in before you would have dinner or before you would go to an
listen
event
to this.
or whatever you.
I've never been on a cruise, so I didn't know that it kept track of you by like a scan thing. I've never been on a cruise, don't ever want to go on a cruise. I don't think Carnival is responsible either, Rebecca.
We're doing. Those are really full of information about who was where and when. You're saying, did they drink? I don't know if they drank. There are allegations that the teens were served alcohol. We'll find out. But before you can get food or alcohol or a snow cone, you tap your watch. So long story short, we're going to find that out. But do they keep all that information? Do they keep all the video? And if so, for how long? Or is it reused and recycled where we'll never see who went in that room and who came out? Because Anna Kepner went in and didn't walk out.
I just got a verdict on Friday night in federal court in Miami against Carnival, and one of the main features of that case was missing surveillance video. Carnival has an obligation under the law to preserve surveillance video whenever there's a suggestion.
Wow. So this lawyer is saying he just won a case where Carnival did not save the surveillance footage from a crime.
A crime may have taken place. Under the Cruise Vessel Safety and Security Act, they must keep the video. In the case that I just won, a $300,000 verdict, they did not keep the video. What happens is, if they don't save it, Carnival knows it gets written over and deleted permanently. So they have 30 days from the date of this incident to preserve it. And if they didn't, for whatever reason, it wouldn't surprise me, by the way, Nancy, having sued Carnival dozens of times over the last 35 years, that they didn't. But I sure hope for the sake of this family that Carnival did the right thing and the legal requirement of preserving all the surveillance video from the moment Anna got on that ship until her poor body was taken off that ship in Miami. They should have it. They should have given it to the U.S. Attorney's Office, to the FBI, to the Coast Guard. And if they didn't, they're going to have a lot of explaining to do.
Yikes.
If you have been leaning on credit cards lately, just...
Okay, so I just looked it up. The minimum drinking age on all Carnival cruise ships is 21. So if they were serving these kids and these kids got alcohol, it's not going to be good. But I think if the cruise line didn't give it to them, if they took it from the parents or the parents gave it to them, parents should be freaking jailed, right? If we have house parties nowadays, if I had a house party and had a keg and I had a bunch of minors here drinking, I would get arrested. Hey, Lisa K, I am feeling better today. Thank you. You can go in the, you can gamble? Let me see. 18 or older to play in the casinos. Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully they saved the videos because when there's a crime, they're supposed to preserve it. So
that room, a federal indictment has just been handed down straight out to Sydney Silvani, Crime Stories investigative reporter. He is being treated as an adult. He will not be prosecuted in juvenile court. Explain to me what is in the indictment.
There are 2 charges in this indictment: aggravated sexual assault and first-degree murder. Those are the charges this teenager will be tried,
which we just read over the indictment,
as an adult for. And I want to point out, Nancy, this monster is still walking free. He is not in federal lockup. He is not in detention. He is still staying with an uncle with ankle monitoring.
I don't understand what you just said. Joe Scott Morgan, he's walking free. He's not in custody. He's in a private residence. Could you refresh our recollection regarding the injuries to Anna Kepner?
Can you believe it? He is out on an ankle monitor. And Sushi, I haven't forgotten about you, honey. I've just been crazy this week.
I would welcome that opportunity. And let me tell you what this child went through. She is going to...
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. He's going to talk about her injuries, guys. Leo, thank you. I was feeling a little Bahamas today. My fishing shirt.
have a pretty...
Who buys... what? Who buys firewood in Florida? Oh, I'm glad you're chill. So am I. Who buys firewood? South Florida for what? It's hot as fark here.
Serious injury to her neck that would have prevented her from breathing. Okay. It appears that also, and this is in the superseding indictment, mentioned at least from the feds, Nancy, they're using the term penetrative. Okay. They're talking about a penetrative sexual act, which means that this perpetrator, this alleged perpetrator, had violated her in her area or in her area. So when we think about this, we have to begin to think that the injuries that they saw at autopsy apparently state that these events occurred prior to her death. So that means in the midst of this assault or aggravated assault, that they probably found hemorrhage in that area. And I'm talking about contusions, abrasions, and Nancy tears more than likely. And that's going to paint a pretty grim picture in addition to the trauma that she sustained to her neck. And one more spot that they probably would have swabbed relative to her case is Nancy right here on the anterior neck. They're talking about him using an arm bar. That means you've got a point of contact that would go over her neck. We can swab this area right here, search for DNA there as well, in addition to the kit that would have been done. And one more, and I'll shut my mouth. She obviously has gone out and had like her nails done. This is a celebratory cruise, right? Guess what? They're going to have her fingernails. They will have done nail scrapings. They would have done nail clippings. And if there is anything there, the scientists at the forensics lab will find that. That's a very intimate contact that you're talking about. Very, very difficult to explain away, Nancy.
The stark reality, Joe Scott, and I've seen so many murder scenes and processed so many murder scenes, but I remember when my dad was buried, I hugged him goodbye, and his body was like cement. I almost wish I hadn't done it, and I'll never shake that. So while we're all worried about, oh no, you showed his face, oh no, he's charged as an adult, she is like cement, buried. Now, the big concern from the family, who is not charged with anything, they're not a person of interest, they're not a suspect, their big concern seemingly up to now has been to protect the stepson.
He was a good student.
Played soccer.
He played soccer, very quiet young man. He had demons, I think, in his past, and he was trying to deal with those.
Barbara and Jeffrey Kepner are shocked Anna's 16-year-old stepbrother is being eyed as the suspect in her murder, describing them as two peas in a pod and very close. She says the teen was distraught when he learned Anna's body was found and couldn't speak during an initial interview with FBI agents. Barbara says the teen claims he can't remember what happened and was hospitalized for psychiatric observation when they arrived back in Miami.
I wonder what they discovered when he was under the psychiatric evaluation when they came back to the States. Well, the uncle that's keeping him, that's so weird, Higgins. I've never heard of this. The lawyer had to have requested this release.
He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak.
He was an emotional mess, but he didn't speak. What made him an emotional mess? Was he crying? Was he sobbing? Or was he just sitting there quiet like a weirdo? You know what I mean? He was an emotional mess. He couldn't even speak. An emotional mess to me would be someone sobbing, breaking down. But then she says he's a quiet child. See, that's more concerning. There's other minor children in the uncle's house and he's there? Oh my God. Oh my God. He's charged with murder and sexual assault and he's around minors? Oh my God. Give Sparky the all clear.
He couldn't believe what had happened.
From our friends at ABC.
He couldn't believe what had happened. He did it.
Help me. Help me. A great soccer player, a good student. He was fine at the breakfast buffet until the body is found. That's when he clams up. He couldn't or he wouldn't speak to authorities. I don't understand, Dr. Cheryl Eric, why am I hearing about what...
You know what I think this little shit thought? I wonder how many days they had left on this cruise. Hey, Cricket Day. I wonder how many days they had left on this cruise. Because if the housekeeper didn't move the mattress, would they have found her? Would they have just assumed she fell overboard like Amy Bradley? Would they have got off the cruise? He thought she'd just be left behind? It was the last night, Higgins? Oh, shit, that's exactly what he thought. He thought that they would think she fell over. Another Amy Bradley, because he's stupid. Oh, I can't either. He is so annoying. He probably did it, Lindsay. Oh, my God. Well, she would have been found, but he's stupid. Or he was going to, oh, my God, Danny, or he was going to dump her over later. Holy shit, that's why he acted normal, y'all. He was probably going to go back up there, get rid of her, and then they would have reported her missing, and it would have been another Amy Bradley. Oof. That is terrifying. Where did this kid get these ideas from? Oh, my word.
What a great guy the stepbrother is. And another thing, we've got the little boyfriend stating, I warned the parents. We've got the boyfriend's father stating, we warned the parents he was or trying to her. She was afraid of him. They put her in a room with him unsupervised. Then that morning, he comes to breakfast and acts like nothing is wrong until the body's found, and suddenly he goes catatonic. BS.
Right. This is getting spun as if he were this distraught that she was missing or that she was dead. But as you're pointing out with the timeline, he got really distraught when the body was found, and it looked like he was in really big trouble, potentially. And I think what you're seeing with the parents sure looks like that minimization and that, the focus on protecting the boy. And, everybody was warning about this. And I have an issue with anyone referring to this as an relationship that they were having. That would make something mutual.
Hi guys, Nancy Grace here.
How would he have dumped her over though? I don't think they had a balcony in their room.
Greg Morris, why is he out walking free? Why is he living in a private residence when he's got a murder one charge against him?
Oh, that's one of the factors. He's a juvenile, so that's going to weigh heavily on releasing him. The court obviously found that any risk of flight is minimal. They put the monitor on him, and with that, they found he wasn't a danger to the community, and most likely it's because of his age. I have plenty of clients in federal court. They would not be released pre-trial on charges like this, even though obviously everyone's presumed innocent. But again, just like I talked about with insanity or competence, age is a big factor here. Yes, it's a tragic outcome of conduct, but again, he's a minor. They felt secure with the family he was living with to not keep him in custody.
Greg Morse and I could argue all day long. It's his profession as it is mine. But let me remind everyone that this stepbrother is innocent under the law. He's presumed innocent. Now, the rest of that sentence is unless and until the state pierces the presumption of innocence with facts and evidence that prove him guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, we know that. Oof. No, he's being tried as an adult. Hey, vile girl. He did, Boston. Her ex-boyfriend said that he jumped on top of her while she was sleeping and they were on a FaceTime. Who would have let him out, though? I agree with AJ. He's definitely a threat to society. He's a sicko. I completely agree. I wonder when his next court date is. I'm going to have to log into Pacer and look. It's probably not going to be for a while. They probably are going to do all these psychological tests. And when is... His name's Timothy Hudson. Timothy... I just can't believe this. Like, he really was going to try to get rid of her. Oh, okay. Right here. Federal prosecutors are asking the judge to revoke the release. This is 2 days ago. Federal prosecutors are asking a judge to revoke the release of a 16-year-old accused in the death of his stepsister, arguing he should be taken into custody now that the case has been transferred to adult court. The motion was filed on the 13th, 3 days ago. Prosecutors said his early release was granted under juvenile law and should no longer apply. So he's in Hernando County, Florida, following a hearing in February. They have not scheduled anything for this motion. So his attorneys filed this and they want a response by April 20th. A judge will then decide whether Hudson will remain out of custody or be detained when the case moves forward. If the court orders Hudson detained, prosecutors have not specified where he would be held because he's still a minor but is being prosecuted as an adult. It remains unclear whether he would be placed in a juvenile facility or an adult jail. So, let me come back to chat here. Hiding her shows he knew he did something wrong. Oh, absolutely. Hey, Colleen. Yeah, I remember following the family hearings for sure. All I know is that I hope the judge reverses it. So we've got 4 days. So that'll take us into next week before they decide if they're going to revoke his release or put him, let him stay out. See, that's the thing, Kelly, is it's federal. It's not Florida. It's in the jurisdiction of Florida federal court, but it's federal. So a federal judge is going to decide, hey, make my soul shine. Mary Dean says he's a danger to himself and society. Himself, yeah. I hope they revoke it, too. I wouldn't want him living around me. Or, like, what if a girl that looks like Anna stops? Like, oh, someone's camping. Hey, honey, you're 18. Can you drive and go get us some wood? What if he's out by the road selling wood to someone who's cute like Anna? Fuck that. That's not cool at all. What's up, Donna? Hope you're having a good day. If you're just joining, we just got done talking about Anna Kepner. Now we're going to move on to Annie Guthrie. The next thing, Annie Guthrie. So the other day, I was watching Jennifer Coffindaffer, our favorite FBI agent who's had multiple roles at the FBI. But Pirate Pete, at times it almost sounds like everything was a setup. The parents knew this could happen and benefit from a lawsuit from Carnival. That's pretty premeditated if that's the case. I don't know. I mean, it could be Pirate Pete, but I'm not sure. Hey Sailor, good to see you. Because she's I don't know what her MO is, and I need you guys to figure this out with me, okay? No, I don't want you to take a break. I want you to tell me what she's up to. Because she's going hard for Annie Guthrie. Like she knows her. Like she's her bestie. And I just can't figure it out. I don't get it. She goes into this big thing about ocular poetry. And for the record, I have a video here. We're going to watch Annie Guthrie read her ocular poetry in just a little bit here. But we're gonna watch some of this from Jennifer Coffindaffer, and she is just hitting hard for Annie, and it's so weird. What, you think she's trying to get close to Savannah? Like what? Ocular poetry is what Annie teaches. She's gonna tell you all about it. She's going to tell you all about Annie like she's known her forever. You ready?
True crimers, welcome to Break the Case. I'm your host. I'm Jen Coffindaffer. I know very often I say I'm so excited about the show, mostly because I'm always excited about the show.
Even the name Coffindaffer seems fake. It seems like a made-up persona. And I'm not saying you're fake, Jen. Don't get mad. You're going to need the tequila.
Just a shot of tequila and a nice blunt.
Cindy even saw it and said it was odd. It's very weird. It's almost like she was paid to do PR. I sped her up. Is that okay?
Show, but it's usually because I have a special guest on. Sometimes it's the topic. I am particularly excited about getting this show underway. This show is going to be about Annie Guthrie. First of all, I'm going to start out by saying this.
Let's do it.
I believe poetry can touch upon some truths about consciousness that science and philosophy
just stick with me.
May not.
You guys,
that was written by.
Don't give up on me. Don't give up on me. Okay. I want to talk about how weird this is.
Annie Guthrie. I've got a couple of other poems that I'm going to also recite to you from her, but I really want to talk a lot about her, about what people are saying, about what people are still saying. And I did this also with the Jacks in the Idaho 4 case. I did many.
She said she did it with the Jacks. I did it with the Jacks in Idaho 4. Jack.
What people are still saying. And I did this also with the Jacks in the Idaho 4 case. I did many interviews about the Jacks. This was within the first couple of weeks, well before anybody knew about Brian Kohlberger, about how they weren't involved. There was no way, based on all the research that I had done, there was no chance. They were later cleared, and still people kept after them. Listen, people are still after them, just so you know. They're still not in the clear. People still blame Dylan. People still blame the Showalters. They blame
Danny,
the Kopaka, who's dead. Terrible situation with a standoff with him with SWAT. Blah blah blah.
Wait, do you like her blanket? The other day she was live. Well, no, it was a couple of weeks ago. She was live, and she had this blanket draped over something. It literally looked like a person. It looked like a person with her FBI blanket. But you know what? If I get a yellow loofah and set it on the chair, what does that mean? What do yellow loofahs stand for? My perverts in chat. Who lives in the villages and can tell us what the yellow loofah stands for? Because I'm nosy about backgrounds. Anybody can order one of these off Etsy.
People blame Annie today, even though she's been cleared by law enforcement. I want to read just a couple of things she was called that I looked up today while I was preparing for this. People are saying she killed her mom.
Okay, she's reading, okay? She never really reads, but she's reading. Someone texts her, and she's like, Listen, this is really dramatic. This is really dramatic.
People are saying she killed her mom. People are saying she abducted her mom. People are saying her ass looks as guilty as hell. People are calling her a witch. She actually looks just like Savannah on the side view. That's why I pulled this one. I love this picture. It shows them both, their profiles. They look so much alike. I want to pull this picture back up of oops, sorry. Let me see if I can get this one on the stage. People are saying she's a demon. Some are calling her not only a demon, but a demon witch. They say that every time they see Annie, she looks like she's on drugs.
Who the fuck is saying these things? Right? She's cussing. What is going on? I got it, Leo. I got it. Mid-level swap. Got you. Got you. This is totally a PR stunt to clean up the opinion on the YouTube streets. No one's saying that. This is Annie.
She doesn't look like she's on drugs to me. She looks almost exactly like Savannah with dark hair and a slightly narrower jaw. So much like Savannah, actually.
Hey, Romeo.
Again, killed her mom, abducted her mom. Ass looks as guilty as hell. She's a witch. She's a demon witch. She looks drugged.
What?
That's what people have to say.
What? I've never seen this. This reminds me of when, what's the bandmate's name? DE. When DE came out and said people had signs outside his house and stuff. Like, that never happened. That's what I'm telling you, Leo. That's why I'm playing this, because this is so weird.
About Annie Guthrie, if you go on right now, if you go on social media, that's what they have to say.
I've never seen that.
I want to talk about what Annie Guthrie really is. First of all, I want to show this. Take a look at this if you didn't see this. I posted this long ago. Take a look.
Hold on. MJ. J is for jealous. What am I jealous of, MJ? Hey, MJ.
Fuck directly off.
What am I jealous of?
That was Annie and Savannah and her mom, Nancy, right there in that house, right outside the house where she was taken. Again, that house was bought in 1975 for $85,000. I want to show this video again because I want you to look what caught my eye. Look at the vines. This is the vines that was used, I think, to grab on and hold that ring camera. I think that's what he was doing. I think his gloves were slipping, even though they're tacky. They were way too big for his hands. He couldn't get a hold, and so he used the vines. Look, watch one more time closely.
So I did see her tweet about the wrong Nancy Guthrie. Like, what? J-Lo, because she's wild. This is weird. This is so weird. I think she's been paid PR. I think she's paid PR.
Right there that he reached around and pulled. So I just thought that was so interesting because of that. That video, I posted it, just probably 6 weeks ago now, 5-6 weeks ago. It really touched my heart sort of to see the interplay between Nancy and her two little girls. Obviously, they also have a brother, Cameron, named after the dad. But yeah, I mean, Cameron's what they call him, but he was named after the dad. He's an Air Force pilot. We'll talk about him later. I want to stick with Annie.
We're going to talk about him later. You guys just stick with me. This is wild, dude. It's wild. Janice, what's up?
I want to talk about who she is. First of all, she's a poet. She's a creative writer. She actually works for the University of Arizona and has been employed there since 2009.
Okay, I don't think she did her homework because does she still work there? Because I don't I don't think she works there anymore. And she doesn't do her jewelry anymore. Because we saw Nancy posted on Facebook. She's no longer doing jewelry. She's writing a novel. So Coffin Daffer's lying.
In 2016, she got a coveted artist research and development grant. Everyone, grants are hard to get. You don't just get them. You have to put in for them, and you have to show that you have something to work for and to do and to prove. A research and development grant. I think the year I saw, I think there were only 30 or 34 that have been approved, and she got one of them. I'm talking about basically a success of hers. I want to read. No, I'm going to go into this first. I want to talk to you about oracular writing. Oracular writing. For some reason, some people have chosen to take the word oracular and change it into witch. What? Somehow, oracular writing equals witchcraft to some people. It doesn't.
Okay, I'm going to clarify because she wasn't an instructor. She was the marketing director for the ocular poetry department at U of A. Oh my God, I lost so many viewers going to this twat. You guys really don't like her, do you?
It's not witchcraft, everyone. Oracular writing is, I'm going to say my terminology, what it is. It's sort of...
Your terminology? Why are you an expert? Why do you have terminology? What is she doing?
Mystical writing. It's the type of writing you do where it's ambiguous. But instead of me just talking about it, I want to give you the formal definition. And then I also want to give you examples of oracular writing to show you they are nothing to do with witchcraft.
Crystal, thank you.
Here we go. Oracular writing refers to a style of prose or poetry that mimics the ambiguous, authoritative, and prophetic tone of an oracle. It often relies on cryptic symbolism and brief, enigmatic statements that require deep interpretation. I'm convinced, and please, I hope I say this right and don't insult.
Don't insult. So she's showing very flattering photos of Annie with Savannah. Nothing Tommaso. Okay, notice that.
I think for some people, when they don't understand something, they say it has to do with witchcraft, or it has to do with something negative. It has to do with evil.
Jay is jealous of everyone who actually has class. MJS-4FW9PN. And you are...
It has to do with darkness. It has to do with doing something, evil and satanic, because they don't understand it.
I hate you.
That's why I wanted you to read what oracle writing is. It's poetry that mimics the ambiguous, the authoritative, and the prophetic tone of an oracle. I want to go on here. I want to give you an example, because these examples are really good.
They're really
good. This is one of her poems. This is from her book that everybody's making a big deal about, I guess.
Who's making a big deal out of her book? Nobody. I think this is total PR. I think she wants to sell her book. Why is Coffin Daffer saying that people are making a big deal out of her book? No one's read her book. No one's bought her book. I don't like any of this. I don't like this whole Nancy Guthrie case anymore. I don't even know what the fuck to think anymore. The next thing we're going to watch is going to blow your mind too. Right. No one gives a shit about her book. Hold on one second, guys. I mean, I feel like at this point, what's her name? Savannah's been back at the Today Show for how long now? And no mention of Nancy. They're covering this missing woman in the Bahamas. Don't even show the flyer. Savannah couldn't even do a segment yesterday that said the word Mother Mary. Hoda had to do it. I mean, it's time to take a step away and find your fucking mother.
They don't like it. The name of this book. Let me make sure I have it right. the name of the book. I think it's called The Good Dark.
You think? I think it's called The Good Dark.
Again, what does that mean? That's the whole point.
What does that mean?
The good dark.
The good dark.
It's ambiguous. What does that mean? Does that mean dark can be good? Dark can be good if you're a mushroom. Dark can be. What does that mean? Does that mean dark can be good? Dark can be good if you're a mushroom. Dark can be good if you want to go to sleep at night. Dark can be good.
Trail of Destruction. I got to give you a special props for joining when I'm playing Coffin Dapper. Thank you so much for your support. That it means more to me than you'll ever know.
If you enjoy wearing black, it's meant to be ambiguous. It's meant to make you think. It's meant to be deep. It's meant to be symbolic. It is not meant to be evil. There's nothing satanic. There's nothing evil. There's nothing negative about this at all. It's just people don't understand it and they've decided to make it bad. Yes, I was right. It's called The Good Dark. That's the name of the book. This is what she says about what the good dark is. It is a privacy. The way the ribs curve around the breath, a black box holding the flight data of a bird that never landed. That is her primary poem.
Why are you reading poetry? What in the world is going on here?
Guys, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come out and stop me.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
In her book, The Good Dark. That's her primary poem, explaining what she means. You guys, this is absolutely beautiful in my mind. I'm a poet, by the way. I've only...
What? You're a what? You are a paid PR person. I'm convinced now.
You guys, this is absolutely beautiful in my mind. I'm a poet, by the way. I've only been published once. It was...
Huh? She's been published? She's a published poet. You guys got to find her poems, please.
Many years ago, but I write poetry all the time to my husband. I write it to my kids. When my mother passed, I wrote and read a poem. When my father passed, I wrote for him. Poetry is at its very core. It can be so beautiful. And I'm telling you, her writings are so deep and so good. Again, The Good Dark, it is a privacy. True. What do we mean by privacy?
32,000 views. 32,000 views because everybody wants to know about Annie.
That's when you keep your thoughts, your life, your bank accounts, your children, whatever you keep private, you keep it in the dark. Is that bad? No, that's the opening sentence. Her opening sentence. What is a good dark? A good dark is privacy. It's dark because it's obscured.
Amazon took
it
off?
Privacy should be.
What?
The second one she said, the way the ribs curve around the breath. I mean,
curve around the breath or the breast? The breath? What is it? The way the ribs curve around the breath, around your lungs. Can you right, RP? That's why I'm playing this. It's weird.
This woman is so freaking intelligent. The way the ribs curve around your breath. That is so cool. It's so true. Our breath going throughout. I know I'm getting pretty deep here, but these poems are deep. And it really,
I know I'm getting pretty deep here. I know, Clad Queen, right?
Pisses me off that because around your breath. That is so cool. It's so true. Our breath going throughout. I know I'm getting pretty deep here, but these poems are deep. And it really pisses me off that because she is a bright, deep thinker, poet, that people instead want to call her a murderer, a witch, a demon. She's been cleared, people, but forget that. Forget that. Who is she? Who is Annie? I can't even imagine how this woman feels because I can tell she is a deep thinker. Further, she says, a black box holding the flight data of a bird that never landed. Guys, that's pretty dang cool. A black box that held the flight.
Dude, you're not even believable. Like, you're not even believable right now. What is she doing, you guys? What is this? Is this so, are we being punked? She's like, oh my God, you guys, this is so cool.
Data of a bird that she
Listen,
says,
listen.
A black box holding the flight data of a bird that never landed. Guys, that's pretty dang cool. A black box that held the flight data of a bird that never landed. You know, I don't know. It's kind of cool, the thought. Just, you know, what are birds doing up there? They're flying all around. What are they thinking? Why don't they land? Why do they land? The black box, you know, referring to our black boxes in planes and things. That's pretty cool, everyone. That's her evil, deep, horrible poem. That's titled The Good Dark. People who are shallow and who never look below the surface can look at the words or see the words or hear the words good dark and somehow make Annie a witch out of that. That's been a lot of the thing. Oh, look at her book. It's The Good Dark. She's evil. Look deeper for those people. I know it's nobody in here, but look deeper.
Okay, it's about a plane crash, lady. I am deeper. She's talking about people dying. The black box. People dying. Hello?
She's also a jeweler. She particularly has a design shop, a jewelry design shop that works, it's commission based only. And so she loves jewelry. It's funny, if you look closely at this picture, I think you can see maybe one of her works. I'm always trying to look at her jewelry that she might have on to see what I can see. Wondering also if any of Savannah's jewelry might be fashioned by her. But nevertheless, she's a jeweler. And it's a commission.
She's a jeweler. Okay, she's not though anymore. She's not anymore.
Mission business. She has multiple businesses, so she works really hard. She also is
not anymore,
a
Mary.
Director, and I believe this is her main job.
She doesn't do it anymore. She rented space. And her mother said on Facebook that Annie was no longer doing jewelry. Oh, Daz says it was an Etsy shop. She didn't even make the vintage jewelry she sold on it.
She's the publicity and marketing director for KORE Press. Okay. What is that? It's dedicated to publishing contemporary literature that is written.
Marketing director? Who pays her? Is it volunteer? What is she even talking about?
By women and transgender artists. So essentially, it started in 1993. The other thing I found out about her, which I thought was very interesting, is she's had these jobs for a lot of years. Now, a lot of people don't have a job for a lot of years, and that's fine. You know, a lot of people are.
Here we go. It's going to get so weird. Hey, toe beans. Hey, let them hate. Say my name. I don't give a shit.
We're not mean.
I'm over here doing my own thing. Chicken wing. Jack.
Are looking to expand, they go in a different direction, blah, blah, blah. But when I see people that have a job for a lot of years, it tells me they're very good at what they do, because if not, they would be fired. So not only are they good at it, which you can be good at a job and still move on, but they're good at it and they love it. They enjoy it. And that's why they don't move on. So 1993, it's a long time. I started the FBI in 1990. I mean, that's so long ago. I've been retired 10 years now. It's a long time ago. She's been doing the same job because she's good at it. She's valuable and she loves her work. That's what we should be taking away from that. Not that she's a witch. And the fact that she allows transgender to write for her publications and she promotes that and markets that. So what? I've seen people make so much out of that too. So what? All right.
She acts all distressed. Like what?
Publications, and she promotes that and markets that.
Why are you bringing transgenders into this? Dude, this chick starts more problems by doing this than it's even worth.
So what? I've seen people make so much out of that too. So what?
No one's. I've never even heard that before, but you want people to make a big deal out of it. That's what it seems like to me. Yeah, using those buzzwords. God.
We're going to count the money.
Hi, Judy. Hope you're doing well.
Let's see. She was married in 2006 to Tommaso Cioni. They have one child together.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
And I want to talk a little bit about her personal life. She's worth, according to net worth, and I've really learned a lot about this, and I thought this was interesting. If you go on right now, look at your net worth, just take your net worth, or take, like what I did, take Annie's net worth. Today, she's worth $100,000, and Tommaso was worth somewhere below $1 million. So they're worth somewhere between $100,000 and $1 million, which to me is above average. But obviously, a big part of that is the house they own, right? That house, I've seen it valued anywhere between $650,000 and $1 million. The house they own, their mom's house is just over $1 million. So they have a house that's worth a lot. It's in a very, it's only 10 minutes, about 4 miles from Nancy's house. It's in other words, they're doing just fine. She has longevity.
Tommaso's worth. She said she's looking up their net worth. She said Tommaso is worth almost $1 million and Annie 100,000. She's looking up their net worth. Listen, there's more. There's more.
In her job, she has a great job. She also works for the University of Arizona. I want to make sure it is the University of Arizona. Yes, the University of Arizona.
What? You're reading? I want to make sure it's University of Arizona. What are you doing?
Particularly in their poetry center, and particularly in their oracular writing section. This is something that is
what?
Understood. Oracular writing and poetry is, well, poetry, nobody should have issue with that part. But the oracular writing is something that is characterized and accepted and in fact taught in higher learning institutions like the University of Arizona and many others. This is not some off the wall, certainly not evil, certainly not unusual, but it's in academia. It's in the academic world. Again, of higher institutions all over, and that's what she teaches. So she has 3 levels of income from the University of Arizona as a teacher, teaching this, oracular writing and poetry. And when you read her poems, you understand why they are so deep and so good, in my opinion. I guess maybe I like them. I love ambiguous writing like that, meaning I like to read something and have it mean more than one thing. That's what I take from oracular. It means you can take more than one thing from what somebody is saying, from their message. And I love to read a poem and have it be deep like that. That's just me. So I respect her writing. And apparently so does the University of Arizona. And apparently so does her employment since 1993 as the director of marketing and publicity for Core Press. Just the fact that they've been in business that long tells you a lot.
Yeah, she's wearing yellow.
And then also, she sells jewelry. She enjoys jewelry. So this is a woman who works hard. No signs of money problems. That's the interesting thing. I don't know why nobody looked this up early on. Her husband, Tommaso, is a middle school physics teacher.
Okay, hold on. Thank you for your super chat, White Lotus. Jay, there is a transgender that lives behind Nancy. Someone questioned since the eyes looked feminine. I've never heard that. Has that person ever done an interview? Because that's the first time I've ever heard that. And he was a part-time teacher, by the way.
We'll get into more of that on the next show.
Oh, the next show is going to be about Tommaso.
They do just fine. They're not in money problems. They have one child. They have a beautiful life from all accounts. Now,
how do you know they don't have money problems?
I want to switch now to her relationship.
I'm looking up them taxes.
With Nancy Guthrie. Actually, let me start with her relationship with her sister, Savannah Guthrie, because a lot of people that, again, are saying she's a killer. She abducted her mom or had her abducted. Not that she's porch guy, but she...
No one ever said that. Who said she's a killer? I have never heard that about her. Have you? I've heard her husband be accused of being a suspect, but not her.
She pulled the strings. That her ass is guilty as hell. That she's a witch and that she's a demon and she's a druggie. Okay, this is what people are saying.
What the fuck?
What does Savannah think of her sister? I'm going to give you a couple examples. First one we're going to watch.
Here we go, guys. This is where the real PR comes in.
Started from the beginning.
We still believe. We still believe in a miracle. We still believe that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope.
Did you hear that? Let me play it one more time.
We still believe. We still believe.
We heard it.
In a miracle.
You don't have
we
to
still
play it
believe
again.
that she can come home. Hope against hope. As my sister says, we are blowing on the embers.
You'll make it, Trail. You'll make it.
As
I promise.
my sister says, we are blowing on the embers of hope. She's quoting her sister. They have a love and a respect for each other, but I'm going to talk more about that. I'm going to talk more about that right here. I'm going to tell you what Annie herself says about her sister, beyond the fact that she's quoting her. In the middle of this case, she's quoting her. Let me find.
No, Annie has, this is an update. Annie and Tommaso have not paid their taxes, their second payment of taxes for 2025 yet. They still owe $2,051.88, and they will begin accruing interest on May 1st. Hi, Michelle. Hi, everybody just coming in. Please hit the like button. We're going to go through this pretty quickly. And then we've got Annie. We're going to watch her read her poem. And then we've got another video. It's real interesting.
Okay. Savannah has talked a lot about her sister. In her 2024 book, so Savannah wrote this book, Mostly What God Does, Reflections in Seeking and Finding His Love Everywhere. This is what she says, 2024, 2 years ago. My sister is by far the most wise, intelligent, thoughtful, creative, generous, and profoundly original person I know. Does that sound like someone who doesn't get along with her sister?
I have news. Hold on. 4:15 yesterday, Nancy's second tax payment was made. Nancy's was paid yesterday, $2,921.33. Nancy's paid yesterday. Annie and Tommaso's still are not paid on their house. Is someone going to move into Nancy's house? Because her last payment was October 27th, the first installment, and the second installment was yesterday. Yeah, the poetry is totally irrelevant. I don't know why this chick's doing PR for her. It's weird.
Does this look like somebody that doesn't laugh and love with her sister? Remember, the reason I'm talking about this right now is because they're calling her a killer, an abductor, a drugged out witch who's a demon. That's what they're saying still. I just looked today, not from...
Why do you keep saying that? Annie's eyes kind of look like the masked person there. I'm just saying.
Right now is because they're calling her a killer, an abductor, a drugged out witch who's a demon. That's what they're saying still. I just looked today, not from earlier, from right now, today. They're still saying all this.
Where are they saying this? Show us. Prove it.
And they're saying the reason behind the hate, behind the abduction and the murder of her mother. Yes, I believe Nancy Guthrie is likely dead. I'm holding out, as she would say, an ember of hope, but a very small ember. Most likely she has passed. In fact, Savannah said that God spoke to her and said she was dead. She believes she's dead. I think she's most likely dead.
We'll read the comments.
They're calling her a murderer. They're calling her an abductor. I mean, in what I read today, they're calling her a murderer. A killer. Actually, it was killer, not murderer.
Killer? I've never seen anybody call Annie a killer. Shut up. Shut up. And Annie would probably sue them if they did.
And they're saying the reason, her motive.
Oh my God.
Is her jealousy of her sister, Savannah. That's what they're saying.
Really?
They're jealous. She's jealous. Baloney. They have a beautiful life. There were somewhere under, just under $1 million, if you look it up. And I tell you, every day switches. It's hilarious. You can take any one person and track them for the next year. Depending on when you ask, they can be worth up to 10 million or as low as 1 to 5 million, the same.
Are you following people's incomes? What are you doing?
Person. So it's insane. I just did that with somebody else about a month ago. They were worth 10 million and now they're worth 1.5 million. But
whose income did you check a month ago? What is she talking about? Who was worth 10 million and now 1.5, Coffin? Tell us.
Nothing. Or
show us the
everyday
proof.
Switches. It's hilarious. You can take any one person and track them for the next year. Depending on when you ask, they can be worth up to 10 million or as low as 1 to 5 million, the same person. So it's insane. I just did that with somebody else about a month ago. They were worth 10 million and now they're worth 1.5 million, but nothing, or 1 to 5 million, but nothing's changed. Anyway, it's just funny to look at all that, but that's totally
funny
off my subject matter. The subject matter here is the motive, because everybody asks, what's the motive? What's the motive? Well, we know it's not money. They were doing fine. Secondarily, Nancy Guthrie.
No, we don't know it's not money. They were doing fine. Look at her. She's like, oh, well, they were doing fine because they said so. They sent me these notes and I am to read them. I am to make everybody believe their money problems weren't existing. They were getting along just fine.
Guthrie has no money to give. She was renting out part of her house as an older woman to gain rental income, everyone. She was on a fixed income. She lost her husband.
So now she's making it sound like Nancy was Poe. Beth B. She's making it sound like Nancy was poor. She's on a fixed income. What are you talking about? How do you know?
Decades ago, when he had a heart attack in Mexico.
Yeah, and Nancy worked, you nitwit. Nancy's the one that worked at the U of A. Ugh. This is horrible. Wake the Bake, thank you for your super chat. Wow. Horrible FBI agent. Where did she work at? Terrible. She went hard for Seth and At Night. Hi, Jay. Hi, Wake the Bake.
Sonora, Mexico. I know. It's another crazy coincidence here. In the FBI, we say there's no coincidences, but honestly, there are some coincidences. I don't know. To me, they're using Sonora, Mexico in these notes because they know that he died in Sonora, Mexico, the dad.
Okay, so she's saying that Sonora's used because the dad died of a heart attack in Sonora, which we all noticed right off the rip when they mentioned Sonora. We hooked it to the dad. But, yeah, great investigative work.
Whoever is doing this knows this family well. They've studied them. They know them. They hate them. Clearly.
Damn. What about her husband?
They know them. They hate them. Clearly. And that's why they mention Sonora in the notes, because that's where Daddy Guthrie died of a heart attack. Anyway, the people who want to make all these horrible accusations against her, being evil, demon, witch, yeah, I keep repeating it because it makes me angry. And I'm trying to show the juxtaposition of, just like I did in the other case, the juxtaposition
what
of
other case?
People just making crap up, the juxtaposition to that, to the reality. Let me read what else she says. So again, I'm going to repeat this. My sister is by far the most wise, intelligent, thoughtful, creative, generous, and profoundly original person I know.
Okay.
This is what she also said. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what Annie said now. I told you what Savannah said. What is Annie say about Savannah, since everybody says she plotted this because she's so jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of. She's actually just as beautiful. If you get the right light, they look. I mean, obviously they're related. Look at their profiles. Annie said, "My sister and I are like the sun and the moon. Her sorrows are my sorrows, and her successes are my successes."
That picture, though.
That's pretty cool. That's what you want. I always say with friends and with my family, I don't know if you've ever heard this before. This is just something I always say. I say the more successful.
Did you hear what she said? She's beautiful if you get the right light. Yes. Why is she putting her down? Did you hear that? I'm glad you guys caught that. Mm-hmm. She's just as beautiful if you get the right light.
To be jealous of. She's actually just as beautiful if you get the right light.
This can't be paid PR. This can't be paid PR because you just failed, lady. That is an epic failure. Yikes. That was really rude.
What does Annie say about Savannah, since everybody says she plotted this because she's so jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of. She's actually just as beautiful. If you get the right light, they look. I mean, obviously they're related. Look at their profiles. Annie said, "My sister and I are like the sun and the moon. Her sorrows are my sorrows, and her successes are my successes." That's pretty cool. That's what you want. I always say with friends and with my family, I don't know if you've ever heard this before. This is just something I always say. I say the more successful my relatives are, the more successful the friends that I'm around are. To me, it's a reflection on me. If my sister is a neonatologist, that's what she did. She has a brain tumor now. She's had it removed 8 times.
Oh my God.
It's benign. It's in the back in her medulla oblongata. But, right now she's blind in one eye, struggles.
What is she doing? Is this lady okay? Is she okay?
It's in the back in her medulla oblongata. But, right now she's blind in one eye, struggles with speaking, can't walk well. She's younger than me. But she was a neonatologist, work in the NICU with little babies, trying to make them healthy. It's amazing what she accomplished. I celebrate every success she's had. My other sister, a biologist, celebrate every success. All my sisters and brothers, unless we're playing tennis against each other. And then I do not celebrate their successes. No, I'm kidding. I'll still say good shot. My point is, this is how Annie Raleigh speaks of Savannah and how Savannah speaks of Annie. And I don't see anything fake about it. Nothing fake about it. See, I think I have a couple of more quotes here.
Yay. She's got a couple more quotes.
This is something Savannah said about what Annie said. "Sometimes the way we have found each other in the hard times is God, the 6th member of our family. As my sister so memorably put it, in other words, as Annie so memorably put it, I know when she is praying for me, and I believe she knows when I'm praying for her too." You see, they have a true kind of trinity, if you will, between God, the Holy Spirit, and each other.
Oh my God. She went as far as to say a holy trinity? She's definitely reading.
That's how they feel about each other. This is no demon. This is no Satan. It's no witch person practicing witchcraft. It is the ignorance of people who don't understand oracular poetry. They don't get that word. And instead of looking it up and understanding it, they've chosen to make her evil.
She's a wackadoodle. Wackadoodle.
They love each other. Their family loves each other. Nancy loved them. And they love Nancy. They've been cleared. I did a whole live on what it means to be cleared.
Lindsay.
But I'm going to go over it really quick. This is how you clear somebody. I'm going to do it quick. Number one thing I do First thing, on a missing case, I'm going to polygraph those involved, and I'm going to see their reaction. I'm going to tell them, I'm setting you up for a polygraph. It's in 2 hours. Be ready. Are you ready? First of all, I should say the first thing is a pre-interview. You have to do a pre-interview before any polygraph. You may not know this, but you have to. They want to, the polygraphers want to see what they said. They want to be able to use that sometimes to help fashion the couple of questions they're going to ask. Remember, they are also going to pre-interview. So you're going to have an investigator pre-interview. They're going to pre-interview, and then they're going to poly. That's how it all works. So I'm going to see what the reaction to all of that is. Is it cooperative? Is it pound sand? Is it, I need an attorney? Is it, I'm taking the Fifth Amendment? There are many attorneys that will tell you, and they might be on here right now, and they might say, oh my gosh, don't take a polygraph. Oh my gosh, don't interview with the FBI. Oh, for heaven's sakes, don't do anything like that. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're innocent, you should do it. That's my advice. If you're innocent and you know you can prove it, you know you have the data in your car to show you went to a house and you came back and you have nothing.
This is Jennifer Coffindaffer. She is ex-FBI.
Nothing to hide, and you don't have some relationship with somebody that becomes porch guy to kill your in-law. If you know you have nothing to do with it, and this is like any other
Wait, what? And you, wait, what?
To a house and you came
hold
back
on.
and you know you can prove it. You know you have the data in your car to show you went to a house and you came back and you have nothing to hide, and you don't have some relationship with somebody that becomes porch guy to kill your in-law. You know you have nothing to do with it, and this is like any other Sunday night or Saturday night, except for your mom/mother-in-law was abducted the next day. Talk. That's my opinion. Talk to an attorney, I guess, if you're ever in that situation, but that's my opinion. But that's what I'm looking for as an agent. And I can tell you, people who lawyer up, people who...
As an agent? Aren't you retired?
Get hinky, people who get weird and sketchy. We all denote that. It's everybody's right to get weird and sketchy, but we denote it up here. We denote, well, maybe they just, in the abundance of caution, maybe they just, are married to a defense attorney. I don't know what the situation is, but, it gives us a second eye. Anyway, in their situation, my point is they cooperated. They cooperated right away. They wanted to cooperate. And this is the reason why people cooperate. They want you to know, as law enforcement, we know you're going to look at us first. We're the last person to see her. We're the caretakers. We have opportunity.
It's almost over. There's not much left, guys.
There's no motive. There's no means. In other words, there's nothing to show that they would have done it, but they certainly had opportunity if they would have wanted to. So they know they're not stupid. These are very intelligent people. Savannah's an attorney. Savannah cooperated fully. Cameron cooperated fully. They never thought about not cooperating fully. You look at that. And they did from the beginning. And they took their polygraphs. And they consent searched their houses and their cars. And their car didn't come back till later. It cracks me up when everybody's like, oh, but see, the car wasn't given back till later and it was torn up inside. It was torn up. And then...
Oh, who you mocking? Are you mocking Mr. McDonough? Oh, no, you need to tell her.
Don't be nasty sometimes.
Don't be nasty sometimes. She don't like that they were questioning that car being taken.
Car wasn't given back till later and it was torn up inside. It was torn up. And then on the opposite side of that, they say, see, it wasn't given back for a long time. They had to tear it up. If they were innocent, they wouldn't have had to tear it up. But yet then they say, how could they be cleared? You got to do a thorough investigation. They did. They tore up the car. They got into the brains and meat of the car that knows exactly the navigation, the GPS portion of it. I'm telling you, these cars are amazing. Braking, how far you depress the brake, the accelerators. It has so much information in these modules. It's unbelievable. They tore the car up, everyone. Everybody should be happy about that. Instead, everybody is saying that, see, that means they're guilty. Well, no, that means that they wanted to make sure everything they told them was accurate from a forensic standpoint, from forensically looking at the data in that car.
Call Gigi.
I guarantee this did the same thing with their phones. A full-on digital analysis of their phones, where those phones were, who they've communicated with, any anger issues, anything going on. They've also got Nancy's, right? She left her cell phone. They've got all that information. They were cleared. And these are just some of the avenues. They were cleared.
Welcome, Wake the Bake.
I know. It was the Pima County Sheriff Nanos that said they were cleared. He's working hand in hand with the Bureau, everyone. For those of you who have ever been on a task force, working with the
For those of you that have ever been on a task force, oh yeah, all of us have. Have you ever been on a task force? There's something definitely up with this.
FBI on a high-profile kidnapping case. The Bureau is not going to let a statement like that go out, clearing the family without their blessing. I did this job 28 years. The majority of those years spent on task forces, violent crime,
I don't know, Penny.
gang, organized crime task forces. That it isn't how it works to have some sheriff without the FBI's approval of that, period. And they did it just like they did in the Idaho case, and they've done in other cases, because of the incessant ridicule and threats that these family members suffer. And they want to put an end to it. And they did in this case really early, pretty early, within a couple of weeks. They did the same thing in the Idaho case. It's to protect, literally, Annie and Tommaso, Nancy's own daughters and son-in-law and kids from being completely targeted. That's why. Targeted.
This is very dramatic, dude.
So they're cleared, everyone. If you don't want to believe me, you don't have to believe me, but they're cleared. I'm telling you. If any of you have served on a task force, you will say the same thing.
What? Trust me, they're cleared. They're cleared. Take it from me. How do you know?
So they're cleared, everyone. If you don't want to believe me, you don't have to believe me, but they're cleared. I'm telling you. If any of you have served on a task force, you will say the same thing.
Task force.
Okay. Let's see. Want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I didn't. I just wanted everybody to know who Annie is. That's what the show is about today.
Les incompetents.
Not lies, not conjecture from people who have never met her. Not
have
from
you met
trolls who take some sort of pride or get some sort of feel-good feeling.
I want to know what they said in the 9-second phone call. I want to know why. Yeah, I want to know all about that Derek Kalila texting them, calling them, etc. I know her glasses. I'm telling you, people, she's clear. Happy birthday, Julie Bug. We got another birthday in the house. That's 2 days in a row.
Everybody.
Happy birthday, baby.
About hurting others. They're really no better than the ransom writers, the trolls that are on this, trolling accounts. And every time Annie comes up, they come on and call her a witch or a demon or a killer. They troll my account all the time. They just can't help themselves. Not just mine, they troll everybody's.
Well, they don't troll mine. I haven't seen that once. They troll everybody's. Lies. Thank you, Wake the Bake. Always in the bushes. You're the best. Thank you for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much.
So I wanted you guys to know who she was from the mouth of Savannah, from Nancy. I just, I hope that the Bureau solves this case. I thought it was very interesting. I put a little something out on this, that Savannah actually in studio in NBC, they actually now have a code word that in case there's something that breaks in the case, for them to alert Savannah so she knows.
I'm very uncomfortable sitting here.
Somebody wrote that that's usual. And I'm like, well, most people don't usually have their mothers that have been kidnapped. But nevertheless, I suppose if somebody has somebody who's in the hospital or something like that, and they want to covertly let them know on stage or something, I mean, in my small, short time in the media, which I, consider myself very much a rookie and brand new at this.
Dude,
I'm in the media, which I, consider myself very much a rookie and brand new at this. I've never
so
heard of that
dramatic.
on News Nation, but I don't know, maybe it happens. I don't know anything about that, but they have that with something breaking. And I got to tell you, everyone, it gave me a sense of some hope. I thought, why would you need that unless something is brewing, unless something is going to be changing? Why would you do that? So it kind of gave me this kind of sense of hope in a way, that maybe they're getting down the road enough that they needed to have a word out there because something's going to happen. I don't know. It just gave me a little hope. It gave me a little pause to think maybe they know something. I don't think it's going to be necessarily good news. The Bureau isn't going to say anything until they're done. Nanos is under a rock right now writing because he has to answer these questions. Remember, his term is up in 2028. I know people want him to resign. I know people want him to capitulate. They want him to, say I'm out. It's not going to happen, everyone. He's in a very powerful position. He's been in law enforcement his whole life, essentially. To become sheriff is so completely hard. And JC, thank you for gifting another membership. That is so kind of you. He's not going anywhere. And wow, thank you so much, Karen, for basil seeds. Oh my gosh, that is so great. And as soon as my basil is going, I'm actually gonna do a live outside of just my garden. It's
oh my God, now we're under your garden?
Dedicated to my dad, so I have this little thing when he passed away a few years ago. He's a farmer, amazing farmer. But that is amazing, Karen. Thank you. Thank you. That is exactly what I'll use it for. But nevertheless, that was just so thoughtful. Thank you. When it comes to what they're going through, I just hope online that a lot of you have an online presence that you can be stand up to some of these trolls, stand up to some of these people. And, you don't have to argue with them. What
are you asking people to do?
What I try to do is when they say something off base, I'll just send them a live I did that reflects on what they had to say, or maybe the definition of oracular, or maybe, something that shows like the video or the words that are taken from their own mouths about what they.
Dude, her poetry we don't care. No one cares. No one's talking about it, but now they are.
Think about each other, things along that line. Pug hair is glitter. Thank you for becoming a member. That means a lot.
Smoke them if you got them.
That hopefully you'll say something. I really try not to argue at all online and on social media. But I think you can counter different things with intelligence. And if they're really bad, you look over and they have, they're not doing anything but cluttering up your garden. If they're just a weed in your garden, which I consider the true crime community, every morning when I get up and I look and I want to do
yeah, I've pulled weeds out of my community too. Big ass weeds, huge weeds, the kind that never go away. I've plucked them.
Tweet about something that's going on in true crime. I consider you all, everybody on here on YouTube, everybody on the platform for Twitter X, you guys are my garden. You guys are kind of like my mental stimulating true crime advocacy garden. And if I get a weed in my garden, typically, depending on how bad it is it a dollar weed that's going to take over my lawn? Or is it, one lone dandelion? I might just mute them. But I tell you, when they're ugly in your garden, get rid of them, block them. They're worth nothing. You shouldn't have to look at it. They're meaningless. So I hope, and I remember when Annie and Tommaso got rid of all their social media. And I remember thinking to myself, man, that looks bad. And I even think I did a tweet on it, at least that they did. I more just presented facts. I probably would too. Because right now when I go to my garden, It's 96% flowers, vegetables,
Oh
herbs.
my God.
If I went to my garden,
Wacky tobacco,
and 95% of it was weeds.
I'm your Huckleberry.
She said, we came home, we planted flowers on the side of the house.
Oh, I forgot about her GoFundMe for the billboards. That was a fiasco. The freaking authorities had to come out and say, no on GoFundMes. And here you got ex-FBI.
I probably would want to get rid of it too. And I have a feeling that that's why they did it. They could not look at it again. And they never will be able to. You know, it's been taken away from them because they've been accused. They're accused every day. So anyway, I just had to do a live on Annie. And I hope you all know Annie now. It makes me kind of want to buy her book, especially since no one seems to know that's accusing her anyway.
Oh my God. Buy her book. Buy her book. I've got her book. I got her book. I'm reading from her book. It's called The Good Dark, The Good Dark, The Good Dark. How many times did you have to say it?
She means by the good dark. I'm going to end it, I think, with two things. First of all, I want to say thank you to everybody again. All my members, we're going to have a really cool thing. So maybe my prediction of 6 months, I don't know whether we're going to hit that mark because we're already into 2 months. We got 2 months, a little over 2 months into it. But I said by the 6 month mark, within that time frame, the case would be cracked. We'll see if it works out. I remember I did this with Brian Koberger, and I said by December 31st, the end of the year. And I couldn't believe it when that's exactly when it happened. I just said by December 31st. So I'm hoping I'm right on this one, not for me, but for this family, that it can all end. It'll never all end, but at least they'll have answers.
Awesome, because we've been watching her for years do this with all these cases. That's why. This isn't the first time we've ever watched her.
And I still stick by my statement, whether people want to support it or not. I say tickle the wire. I know how much we have in case funds on our cases, and it's a lot. And 34,000 or 37, depending on when you look at it, is a drop in the bucket to get Cash Patel to sign off. Probably wouldn't even have to go up to Cash Patel. I think just the SAC Phoenix could sign off on it.
What?
And tickle that wire. Put the money in. See if somebody grabs the bait. If you don't do the last...
Tickle that wire, she says.
For, in other words, if you don't want to get an extortionist off.
We've got Osane. I have missed you, Osane. Thank you for joining.
The street and bet the come that maybe there's some nexus. Fine. I get it. We all know
in the name of
this
Jesus,
wasn't a real
Father
ransom
God,
for
Lord.
money. I mean, we all agree on that. But tickle the wire. Put in 30, 40,000. See if some rat takes that bait. You can track Bitcoin. There is a chain. There is a public chain. You can track it, everyone. I understand at the end it could be Batman that owns it. Literally, Batman, fake address, this and that and the other thing. But there are more securities in place these days. And they have to get the money liquid. They have to get it usable. And if they go and make transfers, they put a fingerprint on it. Cases have been solved, Bitcoin cases. It's worth it. The amount of money you're going to see, they spent millions and millions and millions.
Who's she talking to? I mean, is she telling the family to put the money in there? Is she telling the FBI to put in there? Who is she speaking to? Jody, thank you for becoming a member today. I appreciate your support. Tickle me, Elmo, with your yellow loofah. I'm Mama Bear. We're almost done. Then we're going to watch Annie.
I can't remember the dollar amount. Multi-millions on the Gabby Petito case. Millions looking for Brian Laundrie for 5 weeks or so in that swamp. Millions. Spend 37,000. They had 100 agents on.
Who's she telling? The FBI? Why don't you call them? You got insiders? You say? Thank you, Sophia, for gifting a membership to Lee Skywalker. Welcome, Lee Skywalker, to the Truth Seekers. Thank you, Sophia. You're so supportive.
Thank you for your support.
Who does she want to put money in there? You put it in there. Coffin.
On this, they're contracting people to help with the emails. Likely. And that's what we do. Contracting people to help with the Bitcoin. But you got to let somebody you got to dangle the carrot a little bit here. Do it. See what happens. It can't be any worse than what's happening now. We don't know behind the scenes. Again, to think that what we see in public is the whole case would be nonsense. There's been so much negativity. But when you look at the sources, I want you to look closely what people say.
Hey, Michelle.
It's like 2 people removed from anybody that knows anything. It's never the people that are on the case. It's somebody that worked in the department or somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that, is on that case. So I'm holding out that the Bureau has a lot more than we think. And that we'll know something soon. Or not soon, but in the next several months.
We won't know something soon in the next several months. She says by December 31st, and she hopes she's right.
Everybody, thank you so much. I'm going to end on, and let me look and make sure.
Sandra, don't get mad at me, Sandra.
Let's see. I am going to play this again. I think it's interesting to see the Ivy. I think it's interesting to see, and I know you could do anything when you were younger or whatever, and it may not give you a picture, but for me, I see a picture of a lot of love between these girls.
Here it is again.
Thanks, everyone. Until next time, may justice be served for the Guthrie family and for all the missing.
What the fuck? And that's how she ended it. What the fuck? Sane. I hope not. Oh my God. I mean, what was that? I'm so sorry, but I had hilarious. I had to play it. It's so weird. I feel like I know you guys are awesome. Okay, so now let's move over to X. Shanna Lee on X posted an updated version of Annie reading from The Good Dark. She did this in North Adams, Massachusetts, Tupelo Press, 2015. I just don't know why she's doing that. It's very, very strange. Okay, here we go. This is Annie Guthrie, 2015. I am going to run and use the ladies' room. Hold on. I want to listen to this with you guys. I have to go potty though. I've been waiting. And then after we talk about Annie, we're going to do some hooker updates real quick too. So don't go anywhere. Plan on sitting still for a little bit. I'll be right back. Here we go.
These poems are from the final section, Body.
This is Body.
Behind the pupil, a floret of lines burst toward release. A question is raised. The body gives its cross-hatched replies. Whatever in the bloom, what never, on what dream's shelf is ever wilting. On top the night's helm, my howling, starless, stark ahems. The tyrant ahas. Unmoored from port of stem, thinkers keep their words. Put too many coins in GD. it doesn't play. And then, if still or even unplucked from the hook and hung by, get me down, I'm upside down, trying the will, riding it. Bones tell too much of life to skin. Behind all faces, all bone. I saw in one moment an eye open enough to soften the gaze. In there should dare weigh nothing. Walking days under rib cage of oaks by the river. Sometimes it opens. You are in the body of oak bones. Other times whitens in grimace, retrieves a perceiving. Or it could be a body. It might be your body. In that case, how silly all this time. Belief in nothing, collecting, the lateness of hours, sun and sea setting, light as face, reflecting, finding a sameness in things. The body took the blame for the deeds of the mind. It was this kind of human.
Okay. I don't know anything about this kind of poetry. Okay. I don't know. But I think the cadence she's reading it is how she wants it to be read.
These poems are from the final section, Body.
So I think she read it how she wants it to be heard. And I wish I had a transcript to this because I would put it in Chat GPT and see what it says. No, I'm not going to play it again. But I wish I had a transcript of it. But this is on X, so maybe I can do that. Well, I mean, I think that's how she wanted it to read. I don't think she was struggling. Why can't I put it in Chat GPT? I want to know what the hell it means. You guys don't like it? I've never encountered anything like this. So that's what I wanted to talk about with Annie. I don't have a picture of Tommaso with a bite light. I don't have that. I don't. I have this. Wait, not that. What is this?
That you can see. And if so, okay, that's fine. Just say, look, there's a person of interest we believe is the suspect. You can see him barely on the video, but we're not going to release that to the public right now. That's how you answer the question.
Exactly.
It's not rocket science. Okay. You don't go, and there was a person seen. Remember how he did all that stupid, all those gestures? I was like, who is this guy? Hey,
I love Karen. I just love her. It's normal. I don't know anything about poetry. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I wanted to say. I don't have any pictures of Tommaso with a bite light. I only have, I'll show you. I'll put up the pictures I have. I have that. I have, and I'm dying to see what she's going to do with Tommaso next. Was she live today? Hold on, let's see if Coffin was live today. Because she said in the next show it was going to be about Tommaso. Oh, she had a Bitcoin expert on today for an hour and 41 minutes. I'm not watching it. I can't do any more coughing today. Hey, Truth Warrior. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. If you guys haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button now. It's very depressing. Yeah, it's very depressing to me anyways. But these are the pictures I have of them. Savannah. Let's see, what's this one? Oh, that's the skin mask we were talking about. There's the perpetrator. There's Tommaso. He's picking berries in this picture. The transcripts are showing up for her poem readings on the University of AZ website. Oh, okay. Mary J. Blige. I'd rather listen to Mary J. Blige. Jay, have you seen the clip Dally has of Coffin ever getting? No, I don't. I have never seen that. Who posted it? I'll transcribe it. I'll give you the link. Thank you. How do we share? I'm so stupid with X. Hold on. How the fuck do I share this? I'm such a boomer. Here we go. Copy link. Right here, honey. You want to wash crypto. I don't even know what that means. I know nothing about crypto. How come he always leans in like porch dude? I don't know. So there's that one. Then there's... Oh, that's Nancy.
I'm maternity.
Oh, then this one of
I'm
Tommaso.
fraternity. I'm DJ. And I'm PJ. I'm Wild Wild West. And I'm a hot mess. I'm an infant. And I'm an elephant.
I am old and bald.
I'm a Hawaiian surfer. And I'm a construction worker.
I'm old and bald. See, there's no way that anybody knows what kind of shoes those are, Crimes. See, that's how rumors get started. We have no way of knowing if those are women's Skechers. And that's just ridiculous to claim that we do. Hey, Blazy, welcome back. The pics in their house were creepy, too. I want to see the pictures they took. Thank you, Sydney, for subscribing. I want to see the pictures the FBI took in their house. Don't you? What'd they take pictures of? 8696. We're 14 away from 130,000. I'm old and bald. That was on the school website. So, okay, so let's move on. We still have a little bit of Nancy coverage to do. Now, this is an interesting interview. They talk about stuff we've already heard about, of course, because there's nothing new. Okay? But this is Smart Her News. And this is Morgan Wright. He is a former detective and investigator. And they're talking about Savannah's interview with Hoda and the information that we gained from that. So let's take a listen to this.
Now we have something new, and this is where we could talk a little bit more specifically about how the media is handling this. Savannah Guthrie provides an interview. She's back in New York City, and NBC is rolling out this long interview that she did with her friend and colleague, Hoda, who is asking her the questions that so many of us have.
He does kind of look like Joe Scott, like he could be Joe Scott's brother or something.
Quite frankly, because we didn't see that much of Savannah in the last several weeks. She didn't provide a press conference. She provided some videos on social media. Interesting choice, which I'm going to ask you about, just because I think it's interesting for any family in this situation to even consider. But she did provide some confirmation of what happened actually inside the house. Actual facts, not conjecture. And here's what she said, Morgan.
My mom, she was in tremendous pain. Her back was very bad. You know, she was trying to, on a good day, she could walk down to the mailbox and get the mail, but most days not. So there was no wander off. And the doors were propped open.
Yeah.
And there was blood on the front doorstep. And the Ring camera had been yanked off.
Yeah.
And so we were saying, this is...
Do something.
This is not...
Okay, so I noticed this when I watched this again, that she said the doors were propped open, right? She says...
And the doors were propped open.
Yeah.
There was doors... Hey, Robot. The doors were propped open. There was blood on the front doorstep, okay? And then remember she thought she said they thought it was that EMS had come in. But she kind of gives away that there's no way that they thought it was EMS because the fucking doorbell was missing. Why would EMS remove the doorbell? I can see the blood. I can see the door propped open. Okay, might be a medical, but not with the doorbell missing. And she just said those were the three things that made them think it wasn't a wander-off. It wasn't a wander-off. Right? But why would you think it's EMS if you knew the doorbell was missing?
Day she could walk down to the mailbox and get the mail, but most days not. So there was no wander off. And the doors were propped open.
Yeah.
And there was blood on the front doorstep. And the Ring camera had been yanked off.
Yeah.
And so we were saying, this is...
Do something.
This is not okay.
Yeah.
This isn't... Something is very wrong here.
Yeah.
The doors being propped open is something that I didn't think we...
No, awesome. You wouldn't, because the back door where the door was propped open, the lights were smashed off the brick to the point where the brick was broken. So we not only had the front doorbell removed, but you're right. We had the back cameras completely smashed. And she's just like, oh, we knew it wasn't a typical walk-off. We thought it was EMS. EMS is not going to smash lights. EMS is not going to take a Ring doorbell or a Nest doorbell off the bracket. So that tells me Savannah was freaking lied to. I think she was lied to. The lights were smashed by the back door entranceway to the garage.
We heard a ton about.
No.
But then you wrote, wait a minute, the doors are propped open? And she says, there's blood. And these are things that clearly they knew right away. But that wasn't exactly what was included in the information to the public immediately. What do you think of what she said, Morgan?
So one thing I want to be careful of, too, is I know she said doors, but we don't know if it was singular or plural, if that's just an artifact of speech. So we have to be careful assuming anything. If a door, the back door were propped open, then, and this is a discussion I had with folks, then you have to ask yourself, was it propped open from something from the inside, something from the outside? Did they bring it in? So I'd want to know the mechanism of what propped it open, right? Because sometimes, when you stay in a hotel, when I had to throw something in the hallway, I just would throw that latch over or close it so that my door wouldn't slam shut.
Right.
And so there's ways to prop the door open. How was it propped open? And then it goes back to the scene inside the house. What do they know about what was inside the house? She talked about blood was at the front. And so was the front door propped open? It's just, here's the danger. You want to try and, I know everybody wants that. And I got to tell you, I got such wonderful comments from your audience. I think we're up over 700,000 views almost on that episode. I mean, I am so appreciative. Counting? And I think part of the problem is people want the honest truth. I think they're tired of being spoon-fed a bunch of crap. The true, while true crime is interesting, if you want to watch it, that's great, but never look at a true crime show and think that's how investigations are really done. There is no Perry Mason moment in a court. So in this case, the danger is you want to make sense of what's there, of something that you don't have the information yet to make sense of. And so we don't know. Again, I go back to, we talked about she's 84 years old. Very hard to walk, right? If she's pulled out of her bed, the sheets are going to look different than if she folded the covers back and got out because she's just getting up to get a drink of water. Where did the blood start in the house?
We still don't know that.
Well, we do kind of know that. You did this 6 days ago, and we know that it's just by the front door and the sidewalk and the front porch area.
Yeah, and that gets then into my whole point is that if you have a blood trail that starts in the house and it's continuous, there's no pooling and it just goes right from there outside and right into a car, that's going to indicate two people, because somebody would have had to bring the car up, been waiting, have a door open, go in with that, and then get out of there. I mean, that's the hypothesis. It's very difficult. Let me tell you, go back to that trooper picture. One of the things we had to do to get on the highway patrol in terms of the physicals, you had to drag a 150-pound dummy as though you were rescuing somebody out of a car. And let me tell you, I was in good shape. I was 6 foot 205, done my time in the military and ROTC, law enforcement, I was in good shape. Dragging a 150-pound dummy is tough work. Especially when you're under stress, because they're timing you, because they know, hey, this is part of getting on the highway patrol. When I got on, Jenna, over 2,000, I think 2,200 people applied. Only 16 of us got hired. So it was a very competitive process. So you're wanting to make sure you do good on everything. And so 150 pounds felt like 300. So that's where I go back to when I say, even if you planned on doing an abduction, there's still stress involved, because once something starts happening, the person is injured. They're not able to walk. Now you have to start, how were they carried? Were they dragged? Were they carried? Did they walk? Those are all things where blood spatter experts can weigh in better than I can. I've heard Dr. Michael Baden talked about this. I've talked to some people from the FBI. We don't have any real thing, but we do know the trail of blood goes out, at least from the front door. My question is, where does it start at in the house? And that can give you an idea. And the other thing too, I want to know inside the house, if it was a burglary, like I say, then you have signs of burglary. Show me some staging of that there was something missing. We don't have any evidence yet that anything was taken from the house. Her watch was left there. Her phone was left there. Why did you leave that? Because you can track that. So again, it goes back to when you think of what does that tell you? If I leave your phone and your watch and I don't want you to be tracked, now think about you're under stress. It's a burglary gone wrong. Are you really thinking about that? Do you know that she has a Bluetooth pacemaker? I mean, are you?
This reminded me also of the Hooker case, the watch, right? Thank you for 3 months, Marcy. I appreciate your support. Thank you. Yeah, we have no idea about the betting. The cops have never said anything about betting. They've never said anything about anything, really. No, it's not his brother. He just kind of looks like him. But the watch ended up being on the soulmate. Can't be tracked with a watch.
Really thinking about her watch? So, I mean, and we don't know what it looked like. Where was the watch found at, right? Because that was one of the ransom notes. Well, it was a watch here. But you could have seen that on the videos that she did with Savannah when she was showing how to make her bed and everything. So much intelligence was gathered from inside that house because it was public.
So that was an episode that was done a couple months prior to this incident, where the Today Show hosts were going to their hometowns and providing some insight into their behind the scenes. And that we could talk about that too, Morgan, about whether or not that created a vulnerability here for this family, because again, you think it did.
If I had a piece of information to give, as much as you want to humanize your guests, go out and visit the park, feed the ducks, do fun stuff with animals, but quit getting your family involved, because your family did not sign up to be on the national news. I know that they want to do if you want to do Mother's Day and bring them in, even then I'd say that, but Gianna, this is, you take the world as you find it, not as you wish it was. This is one of the things I think we need to rethink in the media, is how much do we try and humanize the host, as opposed to, one thing I appreciated about working with you and John on the show stuff, you guys were you were good, authentic, you were authentic people. You were straightforward. We had great conversations. We talked, and it wasn't one of these things where I had to make you into something you're not. You were always a good person. You were always a great interviewer. You were always kind to me. And John was. Everybody at Fox, everybody I've worked with, usually everybody in the media are kind to their guests. So this whole thing about we need to humanize them and do all these human interest angles, I just think you need to leave family out of it. Because why? Because as we've learned in this case, we don't know that it made her the target, but we can't discount it at this time either.
So he's talking about, and I think that that's interesting to talk about the morning shows. Did that make her a target? I don't know. We don't know what she was wearing. Pajamas. We heard pajamas and no shoes. But thank you, Sarah Lee, for putting the transcript into Discord. So ChatGPT translated it into clearer, plain language meaning, and explained whether it fits ocular poetry. It opens with an image of vision and perception. Something behind the eye is trying to break out, like thoughts or awareness pushing forward. Questions arise, but instead of clear answers, the body responds physically, crosshatched. Fragmented, textured responses rather than logical ones. There's a sense of confusion between thought, body, and identity. What is real versus imagined? What belongs to the mind versus the body? The poem just then moves into cosmic disorientation, starless, unmoored, unanchored. Language and meaning feel unreliable. Thinkers keep their words, but something still fails. There's frustration with belief systems or meaning making. Put too many coins in GD, it doesn't play, like investing belief into something that gives nothing back. The speaker feels inverted and disconnected. Get me down, I'm upside down. Trying to exert, but not fully in control. A major idea. The body carries truth that the mind can't fully process. Bones tell too much of life to skin. Underneath identity, we're all the same, bones. There's a moment of clarity, seeing an eye, open enough to soften the gaze, suggesting awareness, compassion, or awakening. Nature imagery, oak, river, blends with the body. Sometimes you become the world, sometimes you recoil into discomfort. Then a realization. Maybe what you're searching for is just your own body, your own existence. How silly all this time. Ending idea. Humans blame the body for what the mind does. We create meaning, belief, guilt, but maybe it's misplaced. Is this ocular poetry? Short answer, no. This is not ocular poetry in the strict sense. What ocular poetry usually means, ocular is a visual. So ocular poetry typically emphasizes visual form on the page, shape, layout, spacing, typography, how the poem looks as much as what's said. What your poem is instead, your poem is lyric, experimental, free verse, surrealistic poetry. Even a bit of language poetry influence. But there is an ocular quality in a different sense. Whatever. It's ocular in theme. Oh, no. I don't think they understand it either. Try grok. Right, whatever. Sounds like a bunch of mumbo jumbo to me. Yeah, I don't know. I need a shot of tequila and a nice blunt too. How about that? Okay,
just a shot of tequila and a nice blunt.
Ashley,
really nice.
I want to show you the latest in the Hooker case real quick. We're not going to watch this whole thing because I want you guys to go watch it.
Hey, everybody.
But they went out, Ashley and Lindsay went out on a boat yesterday and took the route. But look what they caught. They caught some action, you guys. So they're at the Abaco Inn here. Okay. And
you get out these
watch.
ladders and you head up the dock and you head up to the inn. What's really interesting is the report of finding Lynette's watch. I have been able to confirm that she has an Apple Watch and that they did find it. There'd been lots of talk about it being found on a beach, and so I wondered if it was here at the Abaco Inn, because look at that beautiful beach. It's gorgeous. And it would kind of make sense, right? No, that is not where the Apple Watch was found. Apparently the Apple Watch was found because Brian gave it to authorities off of the yacht Soulmate.
Her Apple Watch was on the boat, on the big boat. Hold on a second. So they found her, so Brian gave the Apple Watch to the authorities and it was on the boat. So he took it off because he didn't want her tracked. Obviously. I mean, why else would it be off, right? Was it on the charger when he went to get it? I wonder where it was.
So I don't think that the Apple Watch would be that helpful. She never made it back to Soulmate. If we're to believe what Brian has told us, she never made it back to Soulmate, and presumably she would not have been wearing it. But I do want to just sort of show you the channel, because they came in here in their little dinghy. See how nice and calm it is? It's a protected area, very protected. I will tell you a little bit about what's not protected in a minute, but they came in via the entrance to this channel, okay? And when they left, they would go this way and turn that way to head south. And their anchorage, their yacht, was moored just outside of this little channel, not far away. In that little dinghy that goes about 2 to 4 miles an hour, it would have taken them 10 minutes-ish, okay? So they left here around 7:30 and turned that corner, and I'm gonna take you out there in a moment. But I just wanted to show you what it looks like right here at the Abaco Inn where they spent their time. Okay, so here's what they would have done. They would have come in here. And
by the way, I love this video. She absolutely rocked it. It's not wood, is it? Yeah, it's actually fluted, like paneling. You guys are going to love the studio. It's going to look so good.
Then tied up to these ladders. And on Saturday, the 4th of April, when they were here, on any given busy Saturday in high season, and we're in busy season, there'd be about 8 to 10 or so of those dinghies just like Brian and Lynette's, because people like to party here. It's a great place. I mean, look at it. Hello. Again, I will tell you about those winds in just a minute, because it's real windy up there, because the Atlantic is on the other side. We're at a really, really narrow part of Elbow Key. We're at the narrowest pinch of Elbow Key. So it's just, there's just enough space for like the inn and the pool and everything. And then on the other side is windy AF. So you're not going to be taking any of those little dinghies on the other side. You're going to have a really tough time even mooring a boat on the other side. We're in the lee of all that wind over here, so it's nice and calm and lovely, and you can park a boat and you can anchor. So that's why people anchor out here, because it is not rough and raucous, even in a breeze. And I'm going to just tell you right now that every so often you might hear the wind sounds, so it's part of the story. The wind is part of the story here. There's some discrepancies on the wind that Brian says was blowing at 7:30 at night on Saturday, April 4th, when Lynette disappeared. He said 20-25 knots. People I've talked to here who were out on the water at that time, at that day, said absolutely not. 18 max. But even 18 knots, which is not as insignificant wind, is way less significant when you're in the lee of the island. And we are in the lee of Elbow Key. I'm in the nice protected part. The wind is screaming over there. You can see the palms are like blowing like stink, because the Atlantic is over that building. Yeah, the Atlantic Ocean, and the screaming wind and the waves is all on the other side. This is the nice, calm, protected. I mean, look at that beach. Look how calm it is. Hope you can see it, and my camera skills are kind of shitty, but so it's nice and calm. It's a little breezy right now. I'm shooting this at 12 noon on Wednesday, April the 15th. So, like I said, they'd come in here, and all the little dinghies would anchor, or would tie up to these to this dock.
Hey, Dental, welcome in, everybody. I was just laughing because I thought my box was delivered to the neighbors, and I had my husband run over there, and because I said, that's mine, it's mine. And he went over there, and it wasn't theirs, or it wasn't mine. And my neighbors across the street are they're like deaf people, and they didn't know what the fuck he was doing. So I was laughing because I almost got him in trouble going over there checking a box that wasn't ours. So yeah, that's what I'm laughing about. I don't know. He said it's a big ass box. I'm like, that's mine. It's got to be mine. But it's not here yet. Hi, YouTube bad actors.
And walk up these ladders. And you see that center console boat over there? Hopefully you can see it. I don't think I can zoom this way. No, I can't. You see that little center console boat? Make sure you can see it clearly. Over there, parked just the sole guy. There'd be about 8 to 10 of those boats as well. And they park nose in, and they anchor their butts out. The stern gets anchored out so that they can park a lot of these boats in here. Again, Saturday, peak time, busy time, fun time for all the sailors and the yachtsmen and the boaters to come in here and spend some time at the Abaco Inn and have fun.
Are you talking about her being gleeful or me? Well, I mean, people go to the Bahamas to be gleeful. I mean, it's a gleeful place. Look at it, it's beautiful. They were partying, they were living their best life. Oh, I'm like, I'm not gleeful.
And maybe hang out at the pool, right? When you're on a sailboat, it's always ocean, it's always salty. Sometimes it's really nice to get in, hang out at the pool. It's why they had a mooring as well, a mooring ball over at Marsh Harbor. Check out my podcast episode yesterday. I gave you the whole tour of where Soulmate is moored right now. I circled around that boat. I showed you it looks like it's a little, abandoned boat on its own. Nobody's living on it right now that we know of, but the police have been searching it on a regular basis. Daily. We know that. We also saw the police yesterday as they just came from the boat. A couple other things I want to tell you about that I saw here, and I will show this to you as we get up on land, but the police are here now, and it is the Coast Guard. It is the U.S. Coast Guard investigators, and they are going into the private property.
Here we go. This is the Abaco Inn, and we've got authorities, Bahamian authorities and American authorities, and another dog. They are actively looking for Lynette.
Driveways, and they're going to the shore, and they're looking for any evidence they can find of Lynette or Lynette's things, or any evidence of something that may or may not have happened to Lynette. So from what I heard today alone, is the first day that the U.S. Coast Guard canine teams have shown up here at Abaco Inn and started searching with their dogs. All week long since this happened, Brian has been, of course, detained and then released, but the searches have gone on. The bartender is really the only person here who could give a good description of Brian. Didn't see Lynette, but we have been told that she was wearing a black bathing suit. I'm trying to track down where that came from and why. That's knowledge right now.
Yeah, Brian made it to Atlanta. We have word that he made it to Atlanta.
I don't know that the bartender didn't see her because she was at the pool, and Brian came and got the drinks at the bar and went back to the pool. But Brian himself was not wearing a shirt, and he actually apologized. According to workers here, he apologized for his
he walked up shirtless. I mean, I know it's the Bahamas, but
his attire, because it was getting close to the dinner hour and he was coming in to get drinks late, but he didn't have a shirt on. He just had his swim trunks on. So it's entirely possible that Brian and Lynette were just in their bathing suits in the dinghy, coming in, having some lovely, drinks and fun and swimming. And maybe Lynette was only wearing a bathing suit and maybe a cover-up when she disappeared. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of the boat, head up that ladder, and walk up there so that you can start seeing a little bit more what it looks like here at the Abaco Inn and what steps they would have actually taken. I'm literally going to follow in the steps of Brian and Lynette. Warby Parker is one of those things.
Okay, so we're going to skip forward. Here we go. Now we are
so they would have climbed
getting
up,
off the boat.
These ladders, right? And they would
Hey,
have...
thanks for subbing up, Travel Twin. And if you like what you see here at this channel with me, Jay for Justice, please consider subscribing. We are really close to a milestone of 130,000 subscribers. We are 5 away from 130K. Maybe we can celebrate today. Still. He said he left to be with his mommy, yeah.
Walked up the dock like I am. And it's so beautiful. Like, you could stop on the beach and hang out here. Also, please note that it's lovely and the wind is light, right? You can see my hair's barely moving. The
Let's
palm
do a
trees
poll.
are rocking because over that side it is not so light. The wind is totally different on the other side. That's the Atlantic over there, okay? This is the Sea of Abaco back there. And it's calm and it's nice and it's perfect for mooring your yacht. And that's why everybody moors out there. They throw their anchors down there, or they moor because it's protected and it's calm. It's in the lee side of the island, right? The wind is coming this way, and the island, right, is blocking a lot of the wind because that's the Atlantic, the windy part. So I will show you what it looks like over there. You won't believe how rough it is and windy. You would not be going and boating in any vessel, close to shore over on that side. But basically, I noticed, you see up there, there's a camera up there.
Lots of cameras.
We have learned that there are cameras all over the place here, and that the proprietors here have spoken with the police. They've provided video. There's video all over the place. There's video at the pool. There's video at the bar. There's video at the docks where we just were. That was where we were. Yeah, and then there's another dock over there, right? There's video pointing to all of these
Okay,
places.
so now we're going to go up by the pool where they were hanging out. This is the bar where he went and got his drink.
Taking it to the pool.
Right here.
According to one of the
Thanks, sweets.
employees I spoke with. And then they came back for a second round a little bit later on, but they were here only a couple hours. That's the difference. So here we go. We're heading to the other side. Beautiful, but look at those rollers. Gorgeous.
Thank you, Miss
Windy
Jamie.
AF and rough, right? You're not going to be out in a dinghy in that.
Thank you, guys.
So that's why you talk about two sides of Elbow Key. That's the Atlantic side. And then the leeward side.
Two more.
Is calm, right there. Where you absolutely could be in a dinghy and you could throw anchor and come in for lunch or a day at the pool or a few drinks.
So one side of the island is the Atlantic, this little island here, and then the other side is calm, and it's the little, like, you know, it's where they putz around. We need 2 more subscribers. I know, I want to go too. But we're going to fast forward a little bit. And we're going to go, here's some more police activity right here.
We can't see them.
This is, they're leaving. So they've got all their equipment and stuff.
The property where they've been working. But it looks as though they are getting up.
I love the music.
In any case, these guys have been at work for.
Canvas, thank you for 5 memberships. Oh my goodness. Crime scene photo. Chinese checkers. Denny, Darren, Love Dust. Thank you. Welcome. Enjoy your memberships. And thank you, Canvas. Canvas and Crime. Check out her channel. She got a channel now.
Every single day since Lynette went missing. Either over here on Elbow Key or...
Okay, now we're going to go and see where Brian ended up. Okay, she takes us all the way over.
Okay, but over here, where they would have gone in the dinghy, and just a little bit north of where he says, you know, where he was anchored. It's like there's mangroves in behind. I'm sorry,
love you, girl.
Water, you guys. The best I can do, but there's mangroves in behind there, and there's.
This is where I think Lynette may be. This is where I think Lynette may be. Give me 1 second. I got a phone call coming in, guys.
Water, you guys. The best I can do, but there's mangroves in behind there, and there is a good chance that they're going to search in there with cadaver dogs. Because again, if the theory is that if Brian did something to Lynette, it is believed that he would have taken her on shore rather than left her in the Sea of Abaco where it's too visible, it's too shallow. And this is the area where they would possibly be searching behind those rocks in the mangroves back there. Where those white buildings are. This is where the dinghy would have traveled. This is the area right here where they were anchored, and over here is where they may be searching later. Behind those rocks, there's a bunch of mangroves that they like to get in behind and search with the cadaver dog.
Wait, what happened? What the heck? I just gifted 5 memberships and sent them to Every Day with Jay. What do you mean? Were you in the wrong chat? Because I have another live coming up, Sophia. Thank you, Sophia.
I know it's a little bumpy, a little noisy out here, but such is the noise of the big boat. And that is Pat's right there. And they were anchored just off of Pat's, about 1,000 yards.
One more sub.
One more point of reference here. We're now across the way from Elbow Key. Okay, Elbow Key is back here. And
this is what I wanted to show you.
This little Sea of Abaco. Let me show you again just how incredibly shallow this is. So shallow. You can see the bottom everywhere. This is Lubber's Quarters, this spit of land, which is, you know, some people are saying there's no way he could have cleared it.
Thanks, Nick. Thank you.
There's just no way he could have cleared it. Some others say, yeah, it's possible. But I do want to show you that there's police activity.
We made it!
They have come over here.
Woohoo! We made it. We got 130,000 subscribers. Look, we made it! Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, sub up because people will unsub just to be assholes when they see you celebrating. Look. 130K right here. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much. It's a slow ride, but we're getting there. We're doing the doggy paddle. We're getting there. Thank you for being a part of it, guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Yay!
With that crew that I saw earlier. And they're out here because it's pretty remote.
That's awesome.
And if the belief is that Brian did something and put Lynette up on land, a cadaver dog would be able to search that out. Again, I'm sorry about all the wind, but again, to see the point of reference back there.
Thank you.
See that big white roof and wall? That's Aunt Pat's, and we are going right across the water.
Okay, so where that white wall is, that's Aunt Pat's, and that's right where they were anchored. Thank you guys so much. Came to frickin' party!
To Lubbers. It's called Lubbers.
Lovers. This is where he says he went around. Remember? Watch.
Quarters. Lubbers Quarters, this spit of land. And there are those police boats.
Those police boats are on Lovers Quarters. Okay, so we're going to fast forward because we're going over to Lovers. Here they are. You ready? So on the map, remember there was the key they're on, Elbow Key, then there was Lovers Quarters, and then there was Marsh Harbor. And they kind of go boom, 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 right? And Lovers Quarters is, parallel. So he's saying that he floated up and around Lovers Quarters, right? To end up way over on the marsh, tickling the wire, if you will. I would love chips and queso in a margarita. They're out there with the dog on Lovers Quarters. Quarters. They got some action, y'all. Thank you, Donna.
A couple other guys over there.
So you can see they're working together.
I asked earlier, and several of these guys are not local.
And earlier in the video, she showed us that the area between Elbow Key and Lovers is not that deep. You can see all the way to the bottom. We talked about this yesterday, that it's so clear that as of today, they're stopping the search for Lynette in this area because she ain't in there. He said she had a dry bag and herself. They found nothing. They found nothing.
They're Americans. Some of them are local. Obviously, the Bahamian police have their...
So this captain told her that the deepest it is in that area, and he shows her. Hold on. He showed her at some point. But anyway, he said at high tide, the highest it is like, I think he said 10 to 12 feet.
Vessels. We're trying to maintain a position in this wind. It's really hard.
The cops wave at them, though. It's kind of funny.
They've got that cadaver dog.
He said the dry bag was yellow, too.
Getting back onto the Bahamian police force boats.
That's what I thought, Peace. 10 to 12. And you could see all the way down like a pool, yep.
Just curious to see if they're going to bring any other equipment or take anything back out there. So the wind is more significant on this side.
Look at the doggo.
We're no longer in the lee of Elbow Key. You know, we're not in the lee. We're not getting
hey,
protected
Rollins.
from that
Thanks,
inland
Rollins.
wind. So it's windier over here. But still, I just want you to see how big the waves are. Not much, right? The waves are huge over here, that's for sure. We're not rocking. We are definitely not rocking.
You know, Mary Dean, you're not the first one to say that he used the oar to dig and it broke.
Just wondering if they're going to pick up and leave, or if they're going to bring any equipment off that boat to do any further investigating, if they got any hits, if they saw anything, if anything happened.
She actually does ask them. Let's fast forward a little bit. Right here, right here. Here it is.
Right now. But
That's right.
Lubbers
But
here.
The way the wind we're going.
Okay, and this is where they're searching right now. But look at the depths all the way through here.
Very shallow.
Nothing, you know.
4 feet, 5 feet.
Maybe 8, 9.
And these recordings are at high tide.
So
at MLW.
So median?
Main low water.
Okay. So at the
Low
very highest high tide, how high would this be in here?
In here?
Yeah.
Just give or take. Add a 2.5 datum on to
so
7.
maybe 10, 11
9
feet.
10
yeah.
feet.
And we were at this tide at the time this happened. Right, maybe a foot or so above.
See, at the deepest, 10 or 11.
A foot to 2 feet above. So
there's no evidence of her getting eaten by a shark, though. There's no evidence of anything. There were other boaters out there. No one saw her. No one saw a yellow bag floating. Nobody saw anything. It was a busy weekend. It was Easter weekend. She's not in this area. He put her somewhere because he's now gone.
The idea is that Brian said, no. He went all the way from there and floated and ended up going all the way across to Marsh Harbor, 4 miles away.
Yep.
All right, so they're pulling out now.
That's what he said. And no one saw the 2 flares, and the flares were unused in the dinghy.
See anything?
Watch, yes.
Were you able to see anything?
He's like, hi. He's like, hi. She ain't in that area of the water. They wouldn't give up if they thought she was.
Were you able to see anything? Any luck? I don't see if you can see them. They're nodding no. Yeah, they're saying no. But I'm not sure that I deserve any answers. They're official, you know. So they're with the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and they brought out 2 of their ribs. These boats are great because they can get anywhere. But they're leaving. And I'm not so sure, I'm pretty sure actually that if they had found something, they wouldn't just depart like this. There would be probably something else done. So far.
No, the flare was not used. It was in the boat.
Sea of Abaco and landed at a place called Calcutta on Marsh Harbor. And it's like a 50-yard rough lagoon area. He said he beached up there and had to walk through a lot of rough terrain to find someone to get help. And that's where they found the dinghy, was at the boatyard, the Marsh Harbor boatyard. So we're heading across there now. Let me show you.
Okay, so they're heading over to where the dinghy was found now. We were on Lovers. Now we're heading over to the Marsh Harbor. This is where he washed up.
In there. Here it is in relation to the boat harbor, okay? So he washes up right in there, okay? And the boat harbor is right over here. And he says to the police that he walked through all of that brush and thicket and rough rock and ended up right in there. If I can point, Basically, right there is where his boat, he says, ended up. And actually, that's where it was. That's not just a he says. That's the dang truth, because that is where they found the dinghy. And someone at the boatyard found him walking. I'm going to just put this forward so you can see. There's a lot of salt spray, so the view isn't as good. But the boatyard over there had a security guy that found him walking.
Oh, Nick.
So he walked,
the missing.
I don't know, that's probably 1,000 yards, maybe 1,500 yards to right between all those rough rocks in there where he landed and walked. And when they found the dinghy.
So how did he get the hell all the way over there? What did he do exactly?
It had in it 2 life jackets. Interesting. An expended flare gun and
expended flare gun. She did say that. 2 life jackets, and he didn't think to throw a life jacket in and put one on himself and jump in after her? The anchor was dragging, yes.
Interesting.
He said 2 boats went by and didn't see him.
An expended flare gun and an oar, but it was not broken. It was not a busted up oar, like an oar or a paddle busted in half, like I was thinking. It was an oar, a full-on oar. Whether the semantics are that it broke off of its hinge that's usually on the boat, and maybe that one oar had broken off and was gone. To my knowledge, they have not found the second oar. Doesn't mean they haven't, it's just to my knowledge. But I do know they have that first oar, because that oar was in the bottom of the dinghy and ended up back on Soulmate later on. And I know now that the dinghy is in evidence. We sure didn't see it on board Soulmate when we saw Soulmate floating in Marsh Harbor.
Well, she's been talking to law enforcement, so the dinghy is now in evidence.
The dinghy ended up being taken from here after the morning of the 5th, right? When he washes up on shore in the morning of the 5th. The dinghy ended up being taken from here. Fire and rescue.
Awesome. You can't forget the fact that her mother said she had a plane ticket that she did not get on. She still wanted to leave him and didn't.
Got Brian with his...
Are you Brian? Awesome.
Dinghy.
His
back
dinghy.
to Soulmate on Elbow Key.
His fucking dinghy.
And he was able to put that dinghy back up onto the back of Soulmate and then sail Soulmate all the way across the Sea of Abaco back to Marsh Harbor and hitch back up to his mooring ball. So basically the trajectory of that dinghy was a lovely afternoon at the Abaco Inn, off out the channel. Oops, something terrible happens according to Brian. Just a minute. And then he ends up floating all the way across to right there.
No, not you, Osage.
Landing at Calcutta, super close to the boatyard. Ultimately, the police come. 4:35 a.m. They begin their search.
We got a cooter chat.
Can he be arrested in the U.S. if defined cause?
Yes, if they complete an investigation, and thank you for your cooter chat, White Lotus. If they complete the investigation, he can be extradited back to the Bahamas. That is per a lawyer here on YouTube. That's all I know. Thank you. Thank you.
That dinghy gets picked up again and taken back to Soulmate with Brian. The dinghy ends up on Soulmate. Brian sails Soulmate all the way across again. I'll show you all the way across from there, all the way across to Marsh Harbor and around the bend and into his mooring position. Be a hell of a night. Tell you that much. It'd be a hell of a night no matter what, because it did land there. It's just what happened before it landed there. How long was it really crossing this Sea of Abaco? How long was he really afloat without any possible means of saving himself? Because he did have a full oar. It wasn't broken
Me too,
off.
White
It was
Lotus.
a full paddle-like oar that he could have used. But it was, it's windy over here. It's windy once you get out of the lee of Elbow Key, right?
All right. So you guys, I will put all the links to everything that we watched today in the description of this video so that you can go and watch for yourself and watch the full thing. I wish we had more time, but we are doing another live stream over on Jay is for Justice, and we're going to laugh our asses off It's going to be a good one. But before we go, I want to play this short because Brian...
Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I let you down. So many times I played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing.
This is him at the airport yesterday. the song. But yeah, this is him fucking leaving yesterday, you guys. Okay? He's leaving. And I heard this morning that he is tracked. Let me see if there's an updated tracking on him because the news is following him. I don't know what he thinks. But let's see. Brian Hooker. They're following him to wherever he's going. Yeah, he was in... The last I saw, he's in Atlanta. So I don't know if he caught another flight to Michigan. No, I don't think that's his attorney. He doesn't look to be with anyone.
Every place I go, I'll think of you. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you...
He knows they're watching him, too. The liquor store, then Nancy's, then Everyday with Jay? Is that where we're going? Okay, we'll do that. We'll go to the liquor store, then we'll go to Nancy's, then we'll go to Everyday with Jay. Bye, Purple Angel. Oh, he thinks he's in the clear.
Wait for me, hold me like you'll never let me go. Tell me that you'll wait for me, hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again.
I don't think he's with anyone.
Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I let down, so many times I played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile.
He's got his watch. I am going to beam you guys right over, and then we're going to be live in just a couple of minutes.
Zach, can you take me over to the liquor store and then take me to the Nazis?
Thank you for 130,000 subscribers. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you, Monique. I'm going to teleport you guys over to Everyday with Jay. We're going to roast Trisha. Last night was crazy. So we need a little laughter in our lives. So if you guys want to join me, I'm going to beam you over there. And we will keep covering this Hooker case. I'm not giving up on this. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoyed the updates. And we'll go to the dispensary, then the liquor store.
Zach, can you take me over to the liquor store and then take me to the Nazis?
And then we'll get into Cooterville in Cooterville. All right, bye, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hit the thumbs up. And again, thank you for the milestone of 130,000 subscribers. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so, so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this live stream or video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on my latest content. Want to take it a step further?
Bring it all in.
And join our community clickers by becoming a Patreon or a YouTube member. You'll get exclusive access to our Discord server, special channel perks, and much more. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.
Click. It's real easy, man.